health is not a sure thing. It's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
A little birdie told us you're not doing so hot.
Here it is, swinging a line drive to a leaping grab by Willie Adames. He timed it perfectly and pulled it down.
The Brewers are in St. Louis with coverage starting at 6:10. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. For Monday, May 15th, our top story, an MPS staffer returns to court.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Wisconsin's hockey community mourns.
I'm Greg Mansick. A surprise firing in the NBA.
I'm Debbie Loziga. So far, so good. Looking good on the roads. Right now, east and westbound 94 standard speeds all the way across the board. We've also got a pretty good ride shaping up along southbound 43 through the construction zones. I'm seeing too many issues. Some of the lane closures might still be in effect, so just something to keep in mind if you're going to be driving through that area. But otherwise, everything else is looking just fine. I'm Debbie Loziga. Are you WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic?
Mostly sunny is your storm team forecast for today. High of 65 at the lake, 72 degrees your high temp inland. Mostly clear tonight with a low down to 50 near the lake. A little bit cooler away from Lake Michigan. Right now at 44. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning. Now former MPS staffer is due back in court today. He was accused of sexually assaulting students at a Milwaukee public school.
33-year-old Randall Jefferson is charged with 10 felonies, including 3 counts of soliciting a child for prostitution and 3 counts of child enticement. According to the criminal complaint, over the course of 2 years, Jefferson pressured 4 students to perform oral sex on him on multiple different occasions. The complaint says Jefferson would offer the victims, all of which were 13 or 14 years old, money or gifts in exchange for the sexual acts. Jefferson, who is listed as a 6th grade substitute teacher at O.W. Holmes Middle School, will be back in court today for a preliminary hearing. Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
Federal investigators are in Sauk County investigating a middle school girl who was hit and killed while waiting for a school bus. This happened Friday morning. 13-year-old Evelyn Gurney outside of Reedsburg. She was waiting for the bus, and a Ford F-150 driver failed to stop behind a school bus before swerving and then hitting Gurney on a driveway. The National Transportation Safety Board says it will conduct the investigation with the Sauk County Sheriff's Office. Police have yet to identify the suspect, if there was one, with the driver, and have not indicated whether or not charges will be filed.
Evelyn played for the Reedsburg, Wisconsin Dells youth hockey team for over 4 years. Her coach telling TMJ4 News she had her eyes set on playing for UW.
It's unimaginable, devastating. That's really the only words that come to mind. She wasn't a big kid, but she was a Spitfire, and she played like she was 6 foot tall.
Teammates and members of the community across the state changed their profile pictures to an image displaying EV42 to pay respect to Gurney. A GoFundMe for her has raised just under $70,000 in just 3 days.
The first debt default in American history could be as soon as 3 weeks away if President Biden and top Republican lawmakers don't reach a deal on raising the $31.5 trillion U.S. debt limit. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
The president did not rule out the possibility of invoking the 14th Amendment, which sounds kind of crazy and extreme. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law shall not be questioned, which basically argues that the government's debt cannot be put at risk, that the U.S. kind of credit worthiness is so important that if the president decides, he can go ahead and do whatever it takes to guarantee the public debt.
Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas says the U.S. stricter asylum-seeking policies are having an impact. ABC's Justin Finch.
As U.S. cities struggle to support arriving migrants, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is reporting a major downturn in migrant crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Over the past 2 days, the United States Border Patrol has seen an approximately 50% drop in the number of people encountered at our southern border.
That drop comes just days after Title 42, the pandemic-era health policy that allowed the U.S. to deport most migrants, expired last week.
A new phishing tool being used to steal information and money from We Energy's customers. Brendan Conway from We Energies tells TMJ4 News that multiple customers have been tricked into handing over money and Social Security information.
These people are buying an ad using those keywords, and that ad shows up at the top of the search results above our website and above our phone number. And the people now are calling that number thinking it's We Energies.
Now, to avoid these scams, Conway suggests only calling the number on the app or on their personal bill.
Coming up, guarding the galaxy on Mother's Day. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Would you trust a part-time dentist? Then why would you trust a part-time fiduciary? Some financial professionals say they're a fiduciary, and they are, part-time. The other portion of the time they're interacting with you, they might be serving other interests. Do yourself a favor. Ask your financial professional if they're a fiduciary all the time. Annex Wealth Management is. Drill down into your finances with the full-time fiduciary team at Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Our house needs a lot of work. That roof, siding.
J&J Contractors.
It's not just the outside. The bathroom needs to be completely redone.
J&J Contractors. They do it all with top-of-the-line quality craftsmanship that's all custom or semi-custom. In addition to full interior remodels, J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team members use high-quality materials for all your exterior needs. Roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Contact them today to schedule a consultation. Just Google J&J Contractors.
Hey WTMJs, John Mercure here. One of my very favorite parts of our great Wisconsin summer is the EAA Air Venture Oshkosh. I grew up making memories at Air Venture every year. The air shows, the planes, the people, the food, the fun, stuff for kids, stuff for adults, all the excitement. This year, the EAA Magic is from July 24th to July 30th. Get your tickets now at EAA.org. Create new memories for your family this summer. Join me at EAA. Check it out, EAA.org.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. There are over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Brewers broke out the bats for Mother's Day. Greg Matzik is in with sports at 5:15.
Freighted and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network have officially broken ground on a Wauwatosa building that will house a multi-million-dollar cancer therapy site. The center will be just one of 43 across the U.S., providing proton therapy treatments, which, according to the Milwaukee Business Journal, provides more effective cancer control, reduced side effects, and fewer treatment-related issues. The center expected to start providing treatment in early 2025.
A Sheboygan native starts touring his latest children's book today with his first stop at James Madison Elementary.
Oliver Doodle Dandy teaches about U.S. history and kindness. Todd Zimmerman wrote the story using characters from his Christmas book series.
All their friends who came to life through the magic of Christmas are now practicing for their own 4th of July parade.
Zimmerman is reading his book today at the elementary school he attended, where children will also be writing notes of love for Operation Finally Home, a nonprofit that builds homes for veterans and first responders.
But the walls and the studs and the 2x4s are all filled with these notes. Thank you for your service. God bless America. Welcome to your new home.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Marvel's threequel ruled the Mother's Day box office.
Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No!
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 brought in more than $60 million in its second weekend, making it the best follow-up of any in the Marvel-verse. In second place,
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die!
the Super Mario Brothers movie with $13 million, debuting in third.
Hello, you've reached the home of the retired and gifted.
Book Club 2, starring Candice Bergen, Jane Fonda, Diane Keaton, and Mary Steenburgen. It sold $6.5 million worth of tickets. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
lot of folks took Mom to the movies, maybe. The weather wasn't great.
Let's go to Guardians, Mom.
Yeah, right. It's what Mom wants. 5:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There's a race going on inside your body, and sometimes the bad guys, otherwise known as arthritis, get there first. That's when the joint pain kicks in.
Your healing process is just too slow and just can't catch up, and it needs just a little bit of help from QC Kinetics.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a QC Kinetics medical director.
We all know that you can heal yourself. If you get a cut, it heals on its own. Your joints are no different. We can take the healing properties from your blood, concentrate them down, and put them in the spot that you need the help. It's amazing. Your body can heal itself.
At QC Kinetics, that's called regenerative medicine. No surgery or steroids, just lasting relief, the natural way.
The fact that we can treat them without surgery, but using their own body's natural healing process, without medications, without steroids, without surgery, it's just amazing.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
10 after 5 here. Let's get a check on the roads early this Monday morning. What do you see, Deb?
Not much, Vince. It's actually looking pretty good across the entire area. Not seeing any kind of real delays out there. We did have some overnight construction, but other than that, everything else, I think actually everything has been pulled up. So we're rolling along actually quite well without too much of an issue. I'm Debbie Laws. I got WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-60s, closer to Lake Michigan, low 70s, farther inland, winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, lows dropping into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. Mostly sunny for Tuesday with falling temperatures during the afternoon. Slight chance of a shower, highs in the mid-70s, but back into the 50s by the evening. Mostly sunny for Wednesday, highs in the 50s and 60s. Sunshine is back for Thursday with a high of 67 and a chance of showers on Friday with highs in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 44 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
5:12 on this Monday morning. Not off to a great start today. Were you worried for me at all?
It seemed a little bit later than normal for when you come in, so I started to wonder about you.
What would be the point at which you hadn't seen me that you would pull the trigger on that text?
Knowing how rigid you are with your schedule, I think had it been an hour before showtime and I had not seen you, I would have been like, okay, I better get on the phone.
Get to 4 o'clock and you're like, this dude didn't wake up. Or
something's wrong.
Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we park in the parking structure here just off the avenue where our studios are, but it's like a block and a half, city block, right? Walk in.
Yeah, it takes a bit to walk.
Which is fine, no complaints.
Yeah, no big deal.
But I got all the way to the door of our studios, and to get in, we have one of these, and maybe you have it at your work, one of these entry systems that's based on our phone. So it's like something with your Bluetooth, right? Your phone,
Sure,
you have clearance to go, and you put it up to this thing, and beep, and you get to go in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk right up to the door, reach for phone, not there. Gah.
See, the thing there is that you couldn't even text me to tell me, hey, I'm outside the place. Can you let me in?
That's a horrible feeling, isn't it?
I did think of going down the stairs to, like, if I could access a spot where you could see me, I could bang on the window.
But then you still need your phone anyway because you can't do your email.
Log into this, log into that.
Yeah, you can't even do that. I mean, you really can't see the stairs from here.
And then on top of that, then I don't have my phone. So then I had to walk back, which again is fine. But on the whole walk back, I'm wondering, what if it's not in the car? Now I've lost a lot of time.
So what did your text read here? I'm going to pull it up now because this is so.
It was in the car.
I'm here. I forgot my phone and realized it's at the door of the car. Had to walk all the way back to the car. That's how my day has started.
I didn't add that.
That's the first thing you said when you walked.
Good start today.
Like I said, Mondays, huh? Am I right?
Am I right? 5:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Quality furniture that lasts. The good stuff. And because it's good quality furniture, it won't be the least expensive. But if you compare our caliber of furniture and our prices to the other higher-end furniture stores
Did you have the
throughout
sports
Greater
position
Milwaukee,
up?
you'll find that Ken Michaels Furniture is truly priced at a value. It's the kind of furniture you won't regret buying. The good stuff at good prices. Furniture for life at Ken Michaels Furniture. In Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, browse our selection at kenmichaelsfurniture.com. We've been doing this for quite some time, so we know the value of solid wood furniture. But we found that using solid hardwood laminates actually make for sturdier, more versatile furniture frames. Frames on the Ken Michaels Furniture line are cross-grained, so weak spots like wood knots are eliminated. And unlike natural wood frames, ours don't expand and contract. So they're more durable, stronger, and of course, they last longer. Furniture for life at Ken Michaels Furniture Stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's own Weniger Compressor has been in business since 1932, breathing new life into businesses all throughout the Midwest. Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Available anytime at pressureisoff.biz.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, the Brewers complete a 3-game sweep of the Royals and a 4-2 homestand with Sunday's 9-6 win.
The 0-1 delivery, swinging a drive to right and deep and way out of here and gone for Christian Yelich. Well, he's back in tune, I'd say.
Bob Uecker with the call, 2 hits, 2 RBI for Yelich. He has 3 home runs in his last 2 games, batting .348 with 4 home runs in May.
Again, we don't know exactly. You know, you guys ask me that all the time. It's a baseball season. If we had all the answers to those kind of questions, then this would be a different sport. But he's swinging the bat well. That's why you play guys every single day, because they have the ability to do this. And he's found a nice little stretch here where he's squaring some balls up.
Council's crew has won 5 of 7 after dropping 6 straight. A 6-game road trip begins tonight against the last-place Cardinals. I'm going to go ahead and say that every time the Cardinals are in last place, I'm going to introduce them as the last-place Cardinals. I feel like that'll go over well in the studio and with our listening audience. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news tonight on WTMJ. Cardinals played last night and won in Boston. Speaking of Boston...
Tatum fires away, punts it in! 51 for Jason Tatum in Game 7.
On the way down the floor, holds up a 50 sign. And he now has the record for most points in a Game 7.
That's Mike Breen and Mark Jackson with the call on ABC. 51 for Jason Tatum. Celtics advance to the Eastern Conference Finals with a 112-88 win over the 76ers. They're going to take on the Miami Heat. In the West, the Lakers and Denver Nuggets begin a best-of-7 series Tuesday night. And surprise news from the coaching front. 2022 NBA Coach of the Year Monty Williams fired by the Phoenix Suns after being eliminated by the Nuggets in the playoffs. So the Suns, Bucks, Raptors, and Detroit Pistons are all searching for a head coach. The Pistons have narrowed their search down to 3. That list includes Bucks assistant Charles Lee. Now, interestingly enough, Mark Jackson on that call, Vinny, with Mike Breen. Mark Jackson is also going to interview for the Bucks head coaching vacancy. So the list keeps growing here for the Milwaukee Bucks. I do wonder if it might include Monty Williams, a coach that the Bucks had some interest in prior to hiring Mike Budenholzer. But anybody who thought the only candidates available were of teams that were not in the postseason, not the case, really. In fact, the Bucks have the luxury of time here. They only have 1 draft pick at the end of June, so it's not like they have a lot of urgency to get someone in before that second-round pick is selected. But another interesting name, Mark Jackson. He was on the call yesterday in Boston. He'll be in Milwaukee at some point interviewing.
More I see and read about this, Greg, I wonder if you would just give us the list of who's not on the list. That might, for expediency.
Yeah, it's starting to grow. Starting to grow a little bit. I can assure you that I'm not on that list.
Yeah.
I can assure you that we are not on the list. None of us.
5:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Thanks, Greg.
Had a rough week? Not to worry. Relax and join Jeff Wagner every Friday at 2:35 for Pop Culture Corner. Brought to you by Palermo's Pizza. Come tell us the best of the best in pop culture, and you could win a prize package from Palermo's.
What is the best movie sequel of all time? Your guilty pleasure on television? I've got a whole long list. Curious to hear from you.
It's Wagner's Pop Culture Corner. Fridays at 2:35 on WTMJ.
It's never a good time to need roof repairs, but there's a better time. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Tri-County Contracting. Find out what needs fixing before you've got water coming in. We've got a lot of snow and ice this winter. Get Tri-County Contracting on top of your house for worry-free roof tune-up. One price, $650. Full inspection, replace damaged shingles, fresh caulking and sealing. It will extend the life of your roof and give you peace of mind. Call Tri-County Contracting for worry-free roof tune-up today. One price, $650. Full inspection, replace damaged shingles, fresh caulking and sealing.
NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too, because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at Accunet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
521 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Getting a check on the roads right now here with Debbie.
Yep, and so far, so good. We got east and westbound 94 still standard speeds across the board, no real delays, and no incidents. Hallelujah. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Mostly sunny today. Looks like a good one. High of 72 degrees, a little bit cooler near the lake. The mostly clear tonight, rather. 47 degrees, your inland low. Be a little bit warmer near the lake overnight. For Tuesday, mostly sunny, but then temperatures will fall in the afternoon with a chance of showers and possibly some storms mixed in there. High of 74, but we'll be dropping into the 50s by the late afternoon. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high of 62 degrees, cooler near the lake. Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 67. And for your Friday, a chance of storms with a high of 65. Right now at 44 in Milwaukee. .522 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Is the video stream working? Checking in with our show producer, Greg Pancake Hill, this morning.
So I just checked in. It seems like we are, at least on the video. Video didn't kill this radio star, I'll tell you what.
Video's all we got. So I almost feel silly talking about it, because if you can't hear me, then this is not really an update for you. Right? All kinds of gremlins when we came in this morning. Right, we got engineers in the house running around, so our signal's been on and off coming out of the studio. So if you can hear me, we're on it and we're working for you. Taking what story was I going to do here? Okay,
Magic Bus.
I have an update here on the new bus rapid transit system in Milwaukee. It actually kind of is. But any excuse to get into it, because the bus rapid transit line on Wisconsin Avenue launches in a few weeks, and it will not only get you to your destination just slightly faster than the regular bus, but it's also going to be free. This is going to make the Magic Bus even magicer, more magical. So this is the bus at a startup cost of about $50 million. Most of that was federal money that is going to run in dedicated lanes on Wisconsin Avenue and Blue Mound Road from the lakefront to the medical complex in Wauwatosa. Maybe you've seen the lanes. I've seen them for the first time. We were leaving American Family Field Friday.
Okay.
So we're heading eastbound on Wisconsin Avenue. And there's all of a sudden I find myself, I'm like, I'm in the magic bus lane, which I was not supposed to be, but it's going to take a while to figure this out.
So you already are supposed to keep that lane clear?
Well, I guess it says buses only.
Okay.
So I didn't see police out there pulling people over, and it's not really running just yet. But, I mean, ultimately, we're going to have to figure this thing out, and it's going to make things a little bit more confusing. But this is the magic bus because, as the county thinks and has suggested at public hearings and in documents, it will shave 8 or 9 minutes off the total travel time for a normal bus. And because of that, thousands of people who have access to a car will be so enamored with the bus that they will ditch their cars and start taking the magic bus instead, hence my title of the magic bus. So we're taking traffic lanes away from cars. We're making projections about congestion and things, and long term, we have no way to fund it, since MCTS says cuts could affect some 50% of its route layout by 2025 and is projecting a $20 million deficit by that year. But we sure are excited about it. Now, I promised news, right?
Yes, an
Instead
update.
of just more playing the song, which in and of itself is fine. No?
Yes, it's a nice song.
It's a good song. So here's the news. The Magic Bus will be free to ride, starting on its launch date June 4th through September 30th. MCTS secured a sponsorship agreement with UMO Mobility to provide the rides free of charge. UMO is the provider, from what I can gather, of the new fare collection system. So it's kind of like you scratch our back, we scratch yours.
Okay.
We're going to buy all this stuff from you and this software and the hardware to do fare collection. So they're going to throw in and sponsor the rides for the first few months of the Magic Bus. I do applaud the county on going for this. I mean, that's great, right? Be innovative, be creative, find new ways of funding, and give people an opportunity to try the bus, see if they like it. And also, I don't want to get the tag of, like, rooting against the Magic Bus.
Yeah, I was going to say, you seem like you're pretty anti-Magic Bus.
Well, I'm anti in that I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to do the things they say. I don't think people are going to ride
their
it.
car.
Right. And I think it's going to add to congestion. We don't know. That's my thought. But also, I'm not that guy that says, I think the Vikings are going to beat the Packers this weekend, even though the Packers are my team. And then I root against my home team just so I can say, oh, I was right.
Yeah.
I would way rather be wrong about the Magic Bus. I just don't think I am. We're just weeks away from launch. June 4th, the Magic Bus will be free all summer. News about your money this morning in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed Friday at 33,301. That was off just about 9 points. The NASDAQ down 44 to 12,285, and the S&P 500 off about 7 points to 4124. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
When I came up with this half-combumbled idea of opening a furniture store in Milwaukee, I still think you're crazy.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
My college professors, I was quitting college to start this, and they were, oh, absolutely, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I had a girlfriend told me not to do it.
But I guess we kind of looked at it as, what's the worst that could happen? We'd have been in debt and we'd owed a lot of money back.
It wouldn't have been that much money. We didn't have that much money, and nobody borrowed us any, so.
So what if I had to work 3 years to pay off all that debt before I made any money again for myself and then go forward from there again?
PennyMustard.com.
Attention, attention. More superheroes are needed. Current Electric is growing and hiring service and commercial electricians, solar panel installers, and customer service representatives. Current Electric offers 5-star tech experience with training, coaching, and support, along with competitive pay and benefits. Apply at currentelectricco.com/careers. That's currentelectricco.com/careers. Current Electric has been serving Milwaukee since 1983 and is an equal opportunity employer.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you, who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Hi, it's Mary Ann. Spring weather is certainly unpredictable, but at Heiser, our prices aren't. Find the perfect vehicle on our lots, or we'll help you special order one. You'll get upfront pricing, no hidden market adjustment fees, and we have inventory under MSRP. Stop in or shop online at Heiser.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
It's 5:31. I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story: an overnight crash kills 4 on Milwaukee's northwest side.
I'm Eric Bilstead. An MPS staffer heads to court.
I'm Greg Matzik. End of the line in Green Bay.
And I'm Debbie Loziga. We got east and westbound 94 still looking pretty good. Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Mostly sunny today in your Storm Team forecast with a high of 72 degrees inland. A little bit cooler near the lake, mostly clear tonight, with temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s for the low. Right now we're at 44 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, Milwaukee police investigating an overnight crash that killed 4 people. Vehicle driving south on 60th Street when it collided with another vehicle heading west on Fond du Lac about midnight. The vehicles collided. 4 people were tossed out of one of the cars, all of whom were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of that other vehicle was brought to the hospital and is in serious condition. That driver was arrested on scene. Charges are now pending review by the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office.
A now former MPS staffer is due back in court today after he was accused of sexually assaulting students at a Milwaukee public school. Randall Jefferson, 33 years old, charged with 10 felonies, including 3 counts of soliciting a child for prostitution. According to the criminal complaint, over the course of 2 years, Jefferson pressured 4 students to perform intercourse with him on multiple different occasions. The complaint says Jefferson would offer the victims, all of which were 13 or 14 years old, money or gifts in exchange. Jefferson, who is listed as a 6th grade sub at O.W. Holmes Middle School on MPS's website, will be back in court today for a preliminary hearing.
At least 10 knives recovered at the scene of a stabbing that injured 4 people in Milwaukee. This was early Saturday evening. Milwaukee police say there was a big old fight that broke out between a 14-year-old girl and a 15-year-old girl near 27th and Hope. Both ended up in the hospital. An 18-year-old woman also sustained injuries, treated at the scene. 3 other women, ages 32, 19, and 17, taken into custody.
That incident happened about a mile away from a Safe Summer Kickoff event, which helped to promote safe youth activities. Officials at the event tell TMJ4 News.
I saw the text message. I said, oh, my God. And then finding out there was children involved.
And it's just heartbreaking and just trying to start our summer off right.
It takes all of us to come together.
Charges in that stabbing will be reviewed by the DA's office.
At least 3 federal agencies involved in an investigation involving a Rockwell automation facility in China. A company which is headquartered on Milwaukee's south side is accused of giving their China facility access to a computer code that would put the United States at risk of cyber attacks. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the code would allow access to the national power grid, the U.S. Navy, and other parts of the federal government. Rockwell says it has not yet been informed about this government investigation.
Coming up, saving and supporting a Swiftie.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 534.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform
Hi, it's Mary Ann. Spring weather is certainly unpredictable, but at Heiser, our prices aren't. Find the perfect vehicle on our lots, or we'll help you special order one. You'll get upfront pricing, no hidden market adjustment fees, and we have inventory under MSRP. Stop in or shop online at Heiser.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
I'm certified financial planner Tony Drake with Drake & Associates. If you're retired or looking to retire soon, have you developed a strategy to minimize or eliminate the taxes when you start pulling money out of your IRA or 401k? If you haven't, then you have a very vulnerable plan because taxes are going up in the future. And if you look at the spending our government does, taxes could rise even more. Find out what's missing in your retirement strategy by requesting a copy of my Retirement Ready Toolkit that's loaded with materials designed to help protect you from taxes. Call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982 to get your free toolkit today.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you. Richlands.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
Back on the road for the Milwaukee Brewers, Greg Matzik looks ahead in sports at 5:45.
We Energy's warning customers of a new phishing tool after dozens of customers reported their information getting stolen by people impersonating the utility company. Spokesperson Brendan Conway tells TMJ4 News that these phishers are buying an ad that shows up above their official website and displays a phone number. People are then calling that number and handing out personal information.
In some cases, we're finding out that customers did unfortunately give some information, and then they're having money taken out of their accounts. In some cases, these criminals will then call us pretending to be the customer to try to get even more personal information.
Conway says the best way to stay safe is to only call the phone number on the We Energies app or on your personal bill.
A bill to repeal taxes on certain business assets is headed for the state Senate floor this week.
The personal property tax repeal would allow, for example, restaurants to not be taxed on assets like tables and chairs. This has long been a target for Republicans, including Senator Dan Knodel, who tells WISC TV News,
It's just a burden off everybody and makes doing business here in the state of Wisconsin a little bit better.
However, Democrats like Senator Kelda Roys oppose the bill.
I don't think you can pass a bill that takes money away from local governments without ensuring that you're going to make up the revenue for them.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
Taylor Swift saving the day for a Swiftie.
Taylor Swift came to the rescue of a fan stopped by security for dancing and taking pictures at her concert in Philly. It was the security guard, not the fan, escorted out of Lincoln Financial Field. And that fan, Kelly Inglis from Baltimore, says Swift gave her group free tickets to come back and see the show the next night. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Yeah, so there's video of her kind of scolding the security guard who is a little too aggressive with these fans who are trying to take a selfie near the stage.
Are you not supposed to do that?
Be too aggressive?
No. I mean, are you not supposed to take selfies near the stage? Or like were they... What got this security guard interested in the first place?
Yeah, I think they probably were where they weren't supposed to be. So instead of saying, hey, please move, he,
was throwing them out?
Yeah, it was getting a little... Yeah, so then now I guess he was thrown out, according to all the reports.
Did he have a walkie-talkie?
I'm sure he
really
did.
empowers people. Bet you had a clipboard, too.
Guaranteed.
5:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call, 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct and local for all of your garden plants.
Come quick to Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek for the best selection on blooming hanging baskets, deck planters, annuals, perennials, and vegetable plants. Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct.
Let's get a check on the roads here at 20 minutes before 6.
All right, it's pretty quiet right now. No major delays right now. As I'm looking at the map, we only have one little hiccup, and it is a broken down vehicle on the off-ramp to Howard Avenue from 4394 southbound. And a squad is with it, so they should be able to get it out of there sooner rather than later. Main lines are looking just fine. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, mostly sunny with high temperatures in the mid-60s near Lake Michigan, low 70s farther to the west. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight with lows dropping into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. More sunshine for Tuesday with falling temperatures during the afternoon and a chance for an afternoon shower. Highs in the mid-70s but back into the 50s by the evening. Mostly sunny for Wednesday with highs in the 50s and low 60s. Mostly sunny for Thursday with a high of 67 and a chance of showers on Friday with a high of 65. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now at 44 degrees. "19 minutes before 6 o'clock on this Monday morning. Did you see Scafidi running the excavator at Johnson & Sons Paving this week?
And he was doing it all by himself, wasn't he?
For real.
Like no one else was in there with him?
Took a little WTMJ field trip to one of our great partners here, Johnson & Sons Paving. You hear them as sponsors of our Time Saver Traffic, and we do some reads for them as well. Great people. They were celebrating their 10th anniversary. So a couple of brothers got into business. I met Mom, Roberta, who kind of talked the boys into, like, you guys need to go out, because Jason was a civil engineer and was in the business, but Mom was the one who said, look, you can do this on your own. You can start your own company. You and get your brother. And like I always say, there are a lot of Johnsons over there. So a bunch of Johnsons involved in this whole thing. So they're 10 years old. They're headquarters there in Menominee Falls. It's where they mix their own asphalt and do everything out there. So we took a little field trip out there, a bunch of us from WTMJ, and experienced their fun and whatever else. But then we wanted to do some stuff. So they let Scafidi get up there, and an excavator is, if you don't know, it's got a cab, and then it's got like a big arm on it.
Yeah.
And the big sort of shovel thing, and they use it to pick stuff up,
like
right?
Rocks and giant chunks of cement and dirt.
So Steve said it was like a bucket list thing for him. He's always wanted to run a big piece of equipment like that. So they coach him up, they put him in the cab, and he's running this thing like by himself. And he's picking up giant rocks, boulders and stuff. And he's moving it over. And then what he was doing is dumping it into this reservoir that goes into the crusher.
Okay.
And they crush this stuff and then use it for road bed. So underneath the asphalt or whatever you have, if you look around on some of the construction projects when you're driving by, you got, sure, it might be asphalt on top, but underneath they got to put down a bed of stone or whatever.
Yeah.
So Steve, you might one day be driving on some roadbed that
Really?
Steve Scafidi helped create.
Some Scafidi work.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
So he was dumping it in there.
Why didn't you do it?
They let me do something else, which I'll tell you in a minute. But in terms of that big piece of equipment, I was like, I'm good, actually.
Okay.
Man, stay in your lane, right? That was not my lane.
All
Scafidi,
right.
he wore it well. Me, I was a little unsure.
Okay.
They did let me dump some asphalt. I filled 2 dump trucks full of asphalt. Everything's computerized, right? So Doug's in there. He's got all these computer screens, and the truck comes in, and he's like, all right, we go over here. We click this. 300-plus degrees. The asphalt's all nice and cooked, ready to go. And it's an operation. The logistics of this, to know how much asphalt they have ready, heat it up just right, when the trucks are going to come, when the next truck is coming, where they all are. They're all up on the screen. And it was amazing. Something you don't think about, right, when you're just driving down the road?
Right, yeah, no, they just put down the asphalt. I don't even think twice.
No, you do not. Well, now you will, because I told you how it all works. If you want to see Scafidi behind the controls of the excavator, I've got it up on my social media. I think we put it up on the 620 page as well. He does a good job. 544 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you're sleeping at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients. And what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventNows.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic devices, and pet health insurance.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
And just like that, the Brewers ship has steadied. Home runs from Christian Yelich, Bryce Terang, and Mike Brasso fuels a 9-6 win over the Royals on Sunday. Owen Miller gave the Brewers the lead in a 7-run third.
3-1. Line drive right field. Back Melendez, still back, and it is over his head and off the wall. Extra bases for Owen Miller as Winker comes in to score, and the Brewers have the lead.
Jeff Levering with the call. He only has 70 at-bats, but Miller's hitting .314 for Craig Counsell. Might see more of the guy moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's just swung the bat well. Consistent at-bats, and that, we're in a stretch where we got to start finding some days off for some guys. It's the stretch we're at right now. So Owen's picked up the slack there then and played 3 games this series and done a heck of a job. Had a big offensive series. I think it's 4 or 5 extra base hits. So big series and, earned it.
Brewers begin the day 1.5 games ahead of the Pirates for first place in the NL Central. Milwaukee and St. Louis tonight for the first of 3 against the last place Cardinals. Coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news. Milwaukee Bucks are interviewing former Golden State head coach Mark Jackson for their open head coaching job. According to Shams Charania of The Athletic, Jackson coached 3 seasons with the Warriors. He was a finalist for the Kings job last year. And the newest member of the Packers is safety Jonathan Owens. Alongside his wife, Owens, after signing his contract, posed for a picture on the field at Lambeau, and his wife is none other than Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles. Pictures all over social media, making its way around over the weekend. Well, one of the many who responded to the tweet was Mason Crosby's wife, Molly. Here's what she had to say, Vinny. Sad we will miss you. We just ended a 16-year run with the team. That being said, I've got great stuff I need to share with you, and she would go on. But the headliner there is, we just ended a 16-year run with the team, according to Molly Crosby. I don't think it's a surprise, but it is more official than, well, the Packers drafted a kicker. What does it mean for Mason? I think Mason's career was largely tied to Aaron's. If Aaron was back in Green Bay, Mason Crosby would likely be the kicker. Aaron's gone, and more than likely Mason is too. The big question is, where will he end up? In my conversation with him over the years, he always talked about finishing his career with the Dallas Cowboys, a team he loved growing up. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's just sort of hanging out, staying ready, and gets a call in training camp from a team that, has a kicker situation that's gone upside down, and maybe he's a playoff ad. I don't feel like his career is done, but it is over in Green Bay, at least for the moment.
Well, according to his wife, do we know that for sure?
The Packers have left the door open to having Mason return. Remember, that was the word from Brian Gutekunst.
Yeah,
so let me translate that for you. We drafted a kicker. He is going to kick for us unless he's an absolute mess, like Brett Conway when we drafted him in the 3rd round several years ago. And thank goodness for Ryan Longwell for coming to the aid at that point. And that's about the only way that Crosby ends up back in Green Bay. An injury situation or the kid they drafted is just terrible. And you really don't hope for either of those, as much as I enjoy Mason Crosby. He's an unrestricted free agent. He could sign with any team. Maybe he just kind of bides his time and waits. He can also be very selective. He's got 5 kids. He ain't going just anywhere.
I just think that's one of those where she put that out and then he's like, you said what? we weren't quite to that public point yet, but that's fine. She's the boss over there.
Well, we shall see, but I don't feel like his kicking career is totally done, but I'd be shocked to see him wearing number 2 for the Packers again.
5:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up, urban farming on a whole new level. It might be cleaner and healthier, too. That story is next.
There are heroes among us who run toward danger rather than away from it. We call them first responders. This is Steve Scafidi. WTMJ is partnering with Educators Credit Union to honor police officers, firefighters, and countless others who work every day to protect our families and loved ones. Do you have a first responder you would like to nominate? Go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner, and share your story. We'll bring you the incredible stories during Salute to Service month in May.
Steve Scafidi's Salute to Service with Educators Credit Union. Details now at WTMJ.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. My favorite room in the house is the family room. Spent a lot of time in there on Mother's Day with everybody over. It leads to my favorite outdoor space at the house, the patio. And I have problems with it every time because I'm trying to pry open this old patio door that I've been wrestling with since we moved in. Not going to do it anymore. Pella Windows and Doors is going to put in a beautiful new patio door at my home. It's going to not only function well, but I know it's going to be beautiful outside and inside our home. I'm working with my man at Pella, Alex Della. My wife and I decided to change things up a bit. We've got wood grain in there now. Alex said, you don't have to stick with that. I mean, we can match it if you want, or we can try something different. We're going to go with white. He even sent me pictures of what that would look like in my family room. That's the expert advice you get as you're choosing your perfect products that can be customized to fit any decor. And if you've been putting it off, listen to the deal we've got going for you right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. 0% financing for up to 48 months. That offer is good through May 31st. Certain restrictions do apply. You can visit the beautiful showroom in Brookfield or shop online at PellaWI.com.
Inflation isn't going away anytime soon. As the cost of everything from food to vacations to your electric bill rises, you may wonder if your retirement plans are still on track. Annex Wealth Management can help. It starts at annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. From there, our in-house planning team will create your wealth metric, a snapshot of where you are and where you're headed. Wealth Metric will help you understand the impact inflation may have on your plans. Get started today. Visit annexwealth.com.
Traffic is brought to you by the senior real estate specialists at brucesteam.com, with you every step of the way. From downsizing to selling the long-time home, the senior real estate specialists at Bruce's team are with you every step of the way. 262-242-6177.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 5:52, let's get a check on the roads with Deb.
All right, so far, so good. East and westbound 94, standard speeds. We've got full freeway speed southbound 41, even through the construction zone, so everything's looking good through there. Southbound 43, also super duper nice and quiet. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line. It's 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Mostly sunny is your storm team forecast for today with a 72-degree high inland. A little bit cooler near the lake. WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Tonight, temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. For your low, Tuesday, mostly sunny, and then temperatures will drop in the afternoon with a chance of a thunder shower in the afternoon. So it will be a high of 74 Tuesday, but then temps will fall quickly into the 50s. And then for Wednesday, mostly sunny. High of 56 at the lake, 62 inland, at 44 right now in Milwaukee. Interesting story here. This takes urban farming to a whole new level. In an industrial corridor in the heart of the city of Milwaukee, fresh produce is growing year-round. And the team behind it said it's not only a marvel in terms of its process, but this stuff is cleaner and healthier too. WTMJ's Tony Cartagena.
From seed to sale, literally when someone's opening the product, it was inside this controlled, sterile environment the entire time, maintained at a safe temperature, which as a result means you don't even need to wash our product. It's ready to eat. It's almost like Willy Wonka of lettuce.
That's Chris Corkery. He's the owner and founder of 100 Acre, a vertical hydroponic farm located right off of 31st and Capitol in the heart of Milwaukee. So now the obvious questions. What is vertical hydroponic farming and what is 100 acre?
We built out a box with a lot of advanced infrastructure inside that recreates Mother Nature to offer perfect growing conditions 365 days a year, right? So we're playing Mother Nature here so that no matter what's going on outside, snow, heat wave, all the stuff that Wisconsin loves to throw at people, it's consistent in here.
So the 100 acre warehouse is about 3,000 square feet. And when you walk in, you see racks of plants stacked 5 high, about 10 feet in the air. That's the vertical part. But what does hydroponic mean?
A method of agriculture that does not involve soil. So you're growing your plants, the seeds themselves are suspended in a medium with nutrient-rich water passing over them. So there's zero soil, which does a great job in removing risk, contaminants and things like that. So it's a super clean, efficient process.
But if you're growing specifically with water, your usage has to be through the roof, right? Like how expensive is your water bill?
We actually use about 95% less water than a traditional soil-based farming because it's closed. It's a closed-loop system. There's no runoff. There's no loss. The only water that we really lose is the plants sucking it up and then perspiring, which is all around the process of growing. Really clean and actually efficient when you think about water conservation.
So you're telling me the salad blend and the fresh basil that you grow in a warehouse in Milwaukee with light bulbs and no dirt is just as good for me, if not better for me, than the original salad I would just go to the grocery store and buy in a bag?
The process of growing is still going back to the basics. It's 100% natural. We just use certain organic compounds and a purified water source to feed these plants. So there's nothing harmful going in there. In fact, we're more pure or cleaner and less risk in the fact that we're not dealing with the outdoor elements like pests and other sources of contamination. We are in a laboratory style condition, so you're getting a guaranteed freshness and top level food safety because of the way we can monitor, implement these controls. So much so that it's a single cut, meaning that our farmers with the proper food safety certification do a single cut off of the growing medium and is packaged immediately. And that goes into bags, then into boxes, and then into the walk-ins. So from seed to sale, literally when someone's opening the product, it was inside this controlled, sterile environment the entire time, maintained at a safe temperature, which as a result means you don't even need to wash our product. It's ready to eat. It's almost like a Willy Wonka of lettuce.
100 acre produces 50,000 pounds of produce annually. Tony Cartagena, WTMJ News.
The Willy Wonka of lettuce, without the yelling and the strangeness, hopefully. Right? I did bump around the website a little bit. It looks like a number of local restaurants use this produce, and they list Outpost and Sendix as well as partners. Not sure if that's something that you can buy in a bag right there on the shelf, but definitely worth a look. 100 acre. 5:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are the business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
Marketing is ramping up for the 251-unit Nova Apartments on Van Buren Street in downtown Milwaukee. That 8-story building will be complete by October. It started construction in 2021. Kenosha's Plan Commission votes to advance an agreement for a $450 million downtown redevelopment. That's by Milwaukee real estate firm Cobalt Partners and builder C.D. Smith. Support for the planned new housing and other uses could include a $20 million city loan. Strong demand in past years for a traveling beer garden at Juneau Park near downtown Milwaukee means that feature becomes permanent this year. Sprecher starts serving suds there on May 24th. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
The next time you run a faucet, think Isaiah Rogers. And while you savor that hot morning shower, give a shout out to Edwin Rood. And the trusty toilet? Well, that was conceived by the great Thomas Crapper. Yes, that's his real name. Here at Mr. Holland's Home Services, we celebrate the plumbing legends of the past and perpetually plan for the future. Our proficient plumbing prodigies stay ahead of the pack with the latest innovative innovations. From drippy faucets and clogged drains to faulty sump pumps and money and space-saving tankless water heaters, Mr. Holland's crew brings Hall of Fame service to you. Join us in a 21 flush salute to the plumbing pioneers of the past, including Sir Hugh Dalrymple, who invented hollow pipe drainage, and whose name is also fun to say, but not as much fun as Thomas Crapper. 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're ready for history-making service, we can help.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
When you say Hasselus Mattress doesn't have employees, it's not a trick just so you can jump out and yell, "Surprise!" right?
No.
So, no surprises?
Well, now through Monday, get a $200 credit on your new Sealy Posturepedic or Beaterest mattress just for shopping local.
I'm feeling faint.
Free next day delivery, too. Surprise! Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Hey WTMJs, John Mercure here. One of my very favorite parts of our great Wisconsin summer is the EAA Air Venture Oshkosh. I grew up making memories at Air Venture every year. The air shows, the planes, the people, the food, the fun, stuff for kids, stuff for adults, all the excitement. This year, the EAA Magic is from July 24th to July 30th. Get your tickets now at EAA.org. Create new memories for your family this summer. Join me at EAA. Check it out, EAA.org.
A little birdie told us you're not doing so hot.
Here it is, swinging a line drive to a leaping grab by Willie Adames. He timed it perfectly and pulled it down.
The Brewers are in St. Louis with coverage starting at 6:10. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, May 15th. Our top story, an overnight crash killed 4 people on Milwaukee's northwest side.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A former MPS staffer heads to court.
I'm Greg Matzig. The Brewers hit the road on a high note.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Everything's looking pretty good right now. Full freeway speeds and no incidents up on the board. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Nice day ahead today. High of 72 degrees, 65 at the lake under mostly sunny skies. And then mostly clear tonight with temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. Right now we're at 44 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a now former MPS staffer is due back in court today. He was accused of sexually assaulting multiple students at a Milwaukee public school.
33-year-old Randall Jefferson is charged with 10 felonies, including 3 counts of soliciting a child for prostitution and 3 counts of child enticement. According to the criminal complaint, over the course of 2 years, Jefferson pressured 4 students to perform oral sex on him on multiple different occasions. The complaint says Jefferson would offer the victims, all of which were 13 or 14 years old, money or gifts in exchange for the sexual acts. Jefferson, who is listed as a 6th grade substitute teacher at O.W. Holmes Middle School, will be back in court today for a preliminary hearing. Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee police are investigating an overnight accident that killed 4 people. This happened near 60th and Fond du Lac around midnight. 4 people thrown from one of the cars. All were pronounced dead at the scene. Now, one driver said to be in serious condition. The other driver arrested and likely to face charges. More information on this crash can be found at WDTMJ.com and on the WDTMJ mobile app.
Federal investigators are in Sauk County investigating a middle school girl who was killed when she was hit by a pickup truck while waiting for the school bus. 13-year-old Evelyn Gurney died Friday morning outside Reedsburg after a big truck failed to stop behind a school bus before swerving and then hitting Gurney. The National Transportation Safety Board says it will conduct the investigation with Sauk County Sheriff's Office. Authorities have yet to identify the suspect and have not indicated whether or not that person would face charges.
Evelyn Gurney played for the Reedsburg, Wisconsin Dells youth hockey team for over 4 years. Her coach tells TMJ4 News she had her eyes set on playing for UW.
It's unimaginable, devastating. That's really the only words that come to mind. She wasn't a big kid, but she was a spitfire, and she played like she was 6 foot tall.
A GoFundMe for Gurney has raised more than $70,000 already.
Just 3 months after his last trip, President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, is back in the UK seeking more money and weapons. More from ABC's Tom Rivers in London.
As part of his latest swing through Europe, Zelensky met with British Prime Minister Sunak, this time at Chequers in the English countryside. The British leader saying,
"You are actually the first foreign leader that I've had the privilege of welcoming here as Prime Minister."
Zelensky, in response,
"Yes, the first time. You said not the last."
But patience is growing thin in the UK. With persistent double-digit inflation and the worst growth in the G7, the British public is growing weary of handing more and more over to Kyiv. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Coming up, the world's oldest dog turns 150 in human years. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
This report sponsored by Evans Transportation Services, one company for accounting, shipping, and tracking.
At Evans Transportation, they love the sound of Milwaukee baseball. Bats cracking, crowds cheering, brats grilling. And Evans is a big fan of manufacturing runs, both on the diamond and in supply chain management. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. Because just like in baseball, teams who know how to manufacture runs have the best chance of long-term success. Good luck to the Brew Crew from Evans and Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Educators Credit Union. On behalf of all of Educators Credit Union, they would like to express their sincere gratitude to all our public safety professionals. Despite the obstacles you face every day, you continue to make the selfless decision to show up and serve local communities. The care, courage, and commitment it takes does not go unnoticed. Thank you for taking the time away from your family to protect, support, and care for ours. Thank you for all that you do.
When I came up with this half-combumbled idea of opening a furniture store in Milwaukee, I still think you're crazy, but... Well,
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
our parents were hesitantly positive for us, but that's just who they were. But my college professors, I was quitting college to start this, and they were, oh, absolutely, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I had a girlfriend told me not to do it. We were originally going to have a partner.
He backed out.
He backed out. Actually, two partners backed out.
Yeah.
And actually, it was good that everybody else backed out.
Yeah.
Because it worked better this way.
But I guess we kind of looked at it as what's the worst that could happen? And honestly, what's the worst that could happen?
Yes.
We'd have been in debt and we'd owed a lot of money back.
Yes.
So we just had to work that off somewhere and then...
And it wouldn't have been that much money.
No.
We didn't have that much money and nobody borrowed us any, so...
Well, that's true. And at 19, you got the time to make some mistakes at that age, you know?
Yes.
So what if I had to work 3 years to pay off all that debt before I made any money again for myself and then go forward from there again, you know?
Okay.
PennyMustard.com.
Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors. Certainty Diamond Level Select Shingle Masters. The best of the best. And that's why you can feel confident in choosing us to install your new roof.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Brewers bats came alive on Mother's Day. Back on the road now. Greg Matzik has sports at 6:15.
Freighted and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network have officially broken ground on a Wauwatosa structure that's going to house a multi-million-dollar cancer therapy site. The center will be just one of more than 40 across the U.S. that provides proton therapy treatments, which, according to the Milwaukee Business Journal, provides more effective cancer control, reduced side effects, and fewer treatment-related issues. Center should open up by 2025.
A Sheboygan native starts a tour with his latest children's book today. His first stop is James Madison Elementary School.
Oliver Doodle Dandy teaches about U.S. history and kindness. Todd Zimmerman wrote the story using characters from his Christmas book series.
All their friends who came to life through the magic of Christmas are now practicing for their own 4th of July parade.
Zimmerman is reading his book today at the elementary school he attended, where children will also be writing notes of love for Operation Finally Home, a nonprofit that builds homes for veterans and first responders.
But the walls and the studs and the 2x4s are all filled with these notes. Thank you for your service. God bless America. Welcome to your new home.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Meet the world's oldest dog.
Long before the Baja Men hit and the Air Bud movie, there was Bobby. He's a purebred Rafeiro do Alentejo who lives in a small village in Portugal and celebrated his 31st birthday with 100 of his best human friends. Consider his breed has a life expectancy of just 12 to 14 years. Bobby's secret? He only eats human food. His owners say he does have some eyesight and mobility issues, but nothing too rough. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing too rough. You get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. 6:09 at Wisconsin's Morning News. Wisconsin weather can put a damper on things, but don't let it ruin your outdoor plans. Sister Bay Furniture is furniture built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Built from premium, sustainable materials, Sister Bay Furniture endures the grueling conditions of Wisconsin weather. That's commercial-grade quality for your outdoor space. Stop by their showroom today, located out in Sussex on Executive Drive, or visit their website today at sisterbayfurniture.com. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
10 after 6, let's get a check on the roads here with Debbie.
All right, we're looking good. Really quiet ride so far this morning. Not seeing any problems. Sun's up, and it's a bit bright out there, so grab the shades before you leave today. But for the most part, everything is looking great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, mainly sunny with high temperatures in the mid-60s near Lake Michigan, low 70s farther inland. Mostly clear tonight with lows dropping into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. More sunshine for Tuesday, but we do have a backdoor cold front that comes in during the afternoon. That'll take temperatures back into the 50s for the evening, and there is a slight chance for a shower. Mostly sunny for Wednesday, highs in the 50s to low 60s. More sunshine for Thursday with a high of 67, and a chance of showers on Friday with a high of 65. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
We're at 44 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Just clicked over to 11 minutes after 6 on this Monday morning. Usually I know what you're going to do here, but I don't know the nature of this hero story that you have brought to the fore this morning.
Yes,
Eric
it's
loves a
time.
good hero story.
I love these average superheroes, if you will. All right, her name is Heaven Chavez. She was in her car with her mother when they heard some screaming. What had happened was a sinkhole in New Mexico. So she's in her vehicle, and they hear some yelling out of nowhere.
My window was cracked, but I heard somebody yelling for help. And I told my daughter, I think somebody's yelling for help. And she said, turn around, Mom.
Yeah, so turn around. What happened here? They go and look, and they see a giant sinkhole right there in the sidewalk.
The whole sidewalk was gone.
The whole sidewalk gone. And there was people inside. A man and his son were actually in the sinkhole and calling for help. So they knew they had to do something.
He was holding onto the poles and he was screaming, saying, I don't want to die. And if I die, I love you, son. And I was like, you're not dying.
She said, nope, you're not dying.
We got you.
No one dying today. So Heaven Chavez started climbing down the fence to see if she could reach him.
I was holding onto the fence like Spider-Man, trying to help him, but trying to save myself as well.
And they're able to get him out. After assessing the damage from this giant sinkhole, they're able to pull him out, and he was just ecstatic.
My daughter got a baby blanket out of the car and gave it to him, and he hugged her so tight, and
he needed somebody, and
we could have lost another person today.
So how about that, huh?
You know what I like most? She said she was climbing down the fence like Spider-Man.
Yes.
I always say, in these average, everyday hero stories, right? Like, people are always super humble, which
Sure.
I get, I'm just doing what anybody else would have done. I'm like, what do I always say? I want somebody to be like, no, I was Spider-Man. That's who I was today.
It was my
I
time.
was Spider-Man.
I was the superhero. So congratulations, thank you, Heaven Chavez, for doing something that I don't know I could do. Be our average superhero of the day.
I think you're climbing down in there.
Yeah, I hope so.
Although I don't know which hero you're more like.
Batman.
Hi, it's Mary Ann. Spring weather is certainly unpredictable, but at Heiser, our prices aren't. Find the perfect vehicle on our lots, or we'll help you special order one. You'll get upfront pricing, no hidden market adjustment fees, and we have inventory under MSRP. Stop in or shop online at Heiser.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Smooth waters and clear horizons are ahead. The experienced team of advisors at Fox World Travel are ready to uncover your cruising style. Are you sailing off into a Caribbean sunset, taking in the European charm along riverways? Maybe an exotic expedition or Alaskan cruise are on your bucket list. We'll help you cruise like never before with Royal Caribbean, Holland America, Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, and more. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call a Fox Cruise expert at 866-GO-FOX-GO.
I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzig.
Following a 4-2 homestand, the first-place Brewers begin a 6-game road trip tonight in St. Louis against the last-place Cardinals. 3 home runs fuel the Brewers' 9-6 win over the other team from Missouri on Sunday afternoon.
Swinging a fly ball out to center. Backing up, warning track wall is eaten. Gone! Bryce Terang, a 3-run homer. Third home run of the season for Terang, and the Brewers have opened it wide open.
Yeah, Jeff Levering with the call. That made it 8-4. Eric Lauer's first bullpen appearance of the season earns him the win. Lauer removed from the rotation last week due to performance and lack of velocity. Coverage of tonight's game in St. Louis begins following the 6 o'clock news. Add Mark Jackson to the list of head coaching candidates for the Milwaukee Bucks. According to Sham Charania of The Athletic, Jackson will meet with the Bucks regarding their head coaching vacancy. The list also includes Golden State assistant Kenny Atkinson. And Memphis Grizzlies star John Morant just doesn't seem to get it. 2 months after being suspended after flashing a gun while drunk at a Denver nightclub, Morant was caught again flashing a gun while singing along in the passenger seat of a friend's car. Video has since been deleted from social media. Grizzlies have suspended Morant for all team activities until further notice.
The league's investigating. They're still going now to make sure that this was a legitimate video, that it wasn't doctored in some way. But I think there is a real possibility, if that is what it appeared to be, a weapon in John Morant's hand, he again is going to likely face a significant suspension to start next season.
That's ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. On the court, we're down to 4 in the NBA. The Celtics pick up a blowout win over the 76ers in Game 7 of their Eastern Conference semifinal series. Jason Tatum pops off for 51, so it'll be the Celtics and Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Out west, it'll be the Denver Nuggets taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. That series gets underway on Tuesday. And back to the Brewers quick, Vinny. So Owen Miller hits a double yesterday. I'm at the Brewers game. We're with the family. It's a double to the right field fence, bounces off the wall, scores a run, part of an offensive explosion for the Brewers in that third inning. Well, last year when Miller played for the Indians, the then Indians, or Guardians now, he hit a Mother's Day home run, gave his mom the bat. Well, prior to the game yesterday, he went back to Mom's house and said, hey, can I use that bat again? I had a home run last year. Might work this year. Who knows? Ends up hitting a double. He's now reached base in 16 straight games. And, yes, after the game, he gave the bat back to Mom.
Well, it's a good thing she still had it. That one of those that I think it's in the attic. I don't know. We got rid of a lot of boxes, with the move.
Right. I gave it to your cousin. We were playing baseball in the yard the other day.
Using it, right.
Well, she's got it now, and she'll likely hang on to it until at least next Mother's Day, where I presume no one will go back knocking on the door to use it again.
I think he sold that on eBay. 6:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely baseball season. This is your place to catch every pitch.
Here it is. He struck him out swinging.
Home run.
Going back onto the track. It is gone. Mike Brasso goes deep.
And everything in between.
I want to find that tape. We got to find that tape. We'd be better off listening to adhesive tape.
We are the home of the Brewers on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. What an amazing visit we just had out there. Steve Scafidi and I went to visit on Friday to celebrate 10 years with Johnson & Sons, this local family-owned company that you can trust for all of your concrete and paving needs. cool thing. We got to watch them in action as the asphalt plant was up and running. You'll be interested to know 30% of the materials that goes into Johnson & Sons asphalt that they mix right there on site is from recycled materials. So if they're tearing up the road at your house, that could end up over there. And in the next mix that's getting laid down on the road that you drive on or the parking lot that you're a part of. This is such a great family-owned company. So if you have a parking lot need that needs to be fixed, they want to fix the potholes, or maybe you want a whole new parking lot for your small business, or you have work to do at your house as well. It's the company you can absolutely trust and be really proud of. Johnson & Sons does everything in-house. They'll help you design your project. And as I said, they mix their own asphalt, and they're super proud of the work they do. I met a lot of Johnsons out there, no subcontractors. When you hire Johnson & Sons, you get them every step of the way. A one-stop shop for a project of any size. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
When was the last time you had a second opinion on your retirement plan? If you have $750,000 or more, schedule your retirement review with one of our fiduciary advisors at thekowalway.com.
621, let's get a check on the roads here with Debbie.
Okay, well, so far, so good. We've got pretty much standard speeds across the entire area. Sun's up, so you might want to grab the shades before you come out and drive around. But overall, everything's looking great. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny is your storm team forecast for today, with high temperature about 72 degrees away from Lake Michigan, 65 if you're close to the water. Mostly clear and a low down to 50 tonight. Mostly sunny tomorrow, but then our afternoon temperatures will drop pretty quickly. Chance for a thunder shower, and temperatures dipping from a high of 74 into the 50s. So it's going to be one of these cold fronts that come through and blow your socks off. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, high of just 62 inland, even cooler near the lake. Right now, 44 in Milwaukee. .622 on Wisconsin's Morning News. New segment alert. Something we want to start doing here on Mondays for you to help you get a look at your week ahead. I guess we're going to call it the week ahead.
It's time to look at the week ahead.
All right.
There you go. That's pretty spectacular, wasn't it?
Very, very simple.
I don't know. We talked with Greg Hill, our producer here earlier. He created that special open. He's like, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know. Now that we played it, maybe I want a little more. Put some more stuff in there.
Coming up.
Make it more obnoxious.
Yeah.
We like
a little bit louder. Put some sound effects in there.
Bells and whistles.
Pew, pew, pew. Now, the week ahead.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. What?
Okay.
Wasn't that? Weren't we in the segment?
Here we are now. A big week this week. It's National Police Week. Obviously, this is a time when law enforcement also honors those who we've lost in the line of duty. So there are events that take place all week long here locally and in Washington, D.C.
You know, I've talked with folks who've been involved in that, whether it's the local Harley-Davidson dealerships, because a lot of it is they ride the police motorcycles out there.
Which is
and
a cool scene to see.
House
all
of
that.
Harley in Greenfield, I know they actually will trailer some of the bikes out there for them and take an active role in that. And then some of the families who are out there in Washington, D.C., who have lost loved ones in the line of duty. Important week for them to be with other families, to commune with them, and also get all kinds of support on how they keep living day after day, knowing that tragedy has been a part of their life.
Wisconsin has lost 4 law enforcement officers in the line of duty this year, which is the most we've had in a year in more than 20. So something to keep in mind this week, give you some perspective. A Joint Finance Committee gets to work again this week for a couple of meetings. They have one Tuesday and one Thursday, so they'll bicker some more and fight about things.
Rewriting the entire state budget.
Rewriting the entire state budget.
By Governor Tony Evers. That one out, this one in.
Speaking of money, the debt ceiling will be discussed again. They're going to meet later this week, the president and congressional leaders, including the GOP leaders.
There are less than 3 weeks now for negotiators, the White House, and leaders of Congress to come to some sort of agreement to essentially raise the debt limit that would allow the government to keep on paying its bills as usual.
All right, so that's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze with that.
Because they always have and never haven't. I just think for...
You expect...
just for people listening to the news right now or who are part of our show, like, I don't know how much we should cover this, right?
Yeah, it's frustrating me. There's a lot of posturing, a lot of saber rattling, if you will.
And then at the end, it heretofore has always
Typically,
turned out.
Yeah.
So
how is this different?
Well, I'm sure we'll be saying this again next week. Now 2 weeks left.
Yep. The clock continues to tick. Let's see here. Today is the 2023 Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition being published. Comes out today.
They still do that?
Still make that magazine. 28 incredible women, says the magazine, will be featured, including Olivia Dunn and Angel Reese. Olivia Dunn, of course, is the TikTok superstar who's worth a lot of money now because of her posts on social media. And Angel Reese was the one from LSU who was doing the whole, kind of mocking that girl on the other team when she won the NCAA basketball championship.
Interesting. Now, where's Livy from? I thought she was LSU. She's not. She's another SEC school, maybe?
No, she is. I thought they both
were.
were.
They're both LSU?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, they're on, I don't know if they're on the cover, but they're in the magazine, which is coming out today. Oscars of the Internet, the Webby Awards are today, honoring the year's best websites, online films, and videos. Acceptance speeches are limited to just 5 words in length. The Cannes Film Festival kicks off tomorrow. We have the Western Conference Finals in the NBA starting later this week, as will the Eastern Conference Finals. They start too later this week. It's Nuggets and Lakers, Heat and Celtics. Wednesday, here locally, the Trade Hotel is holding its ceremonial ribbon-cutting ceremony.
This is the one across from Fiserv Forum?
Yeah, so you get to walk through it. So maybe we make a field trip on Wednesday and we go walk through that thing.
It's probably the last time a lot of us would be in there. Pricey, right? The presidential suite. I think we said last week that's the one you booked.
Yes, it's like the double 2-story. It's got like 18 rooms, a bunch of bathrooms and all that.
18 rooms.
You'll hear Smartmatic brought up a few times this week. A court hearing for Smartmatic defamation suit against Fox News will take place. This is just like the Dominion lawsuit where they're asking for billions of dollars from Fox News. The PGA Championship kicks off on Thursday. Who's winning?
Still can't get used to that. I don't know. A lot of folks like Dustin Johnson. I was wondering if I was surprised to know, given his live golf, like whether he could still even participate. So there's all that going on. I can't get used to it being this time of year.
And Fast X will be released in theaters on Friday, the 10th in the franchise.
This has been your week ahead. News about your money this morning. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, Dow Jones Industrial Average was off about 9 points in trading on Friday to 33,301. The NASDAQ down about 44 to 12,285. S&P 500 closed at 4124. That was off just about 7 points. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But now, you can buy Beautyrest Hybrid and the highest-end Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near highest-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like the Beautyrest Queen Haven Bay. Was on sale for $1,178, now just $471. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
When it's time for a new lawnmower, buying local is important. Purchasing one from Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment means you're well taken care of after the sale. Their knowledgeable staff handles the warranty and parts, can answer all of your questions, and is available to do tune-ups and repairs. Check out the impressive line of lawnmowers on display at the Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment showroom in Muskego. And tune in to the Fix-It Show this Saturday morning at 7, when an expert from Olson's will answer all your power equipment questions.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis.
Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. With our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Coming up on 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, a fatal crash leaves 4 dead, including 3 teens.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A former MPS staffer faces 10 felony charges.
I'm Greg Matzik. 3 in a row for the crew. Now it's off to Missouri.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Everything's looking great. Sun shines out and light volume around the area. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Mostly sunny today with a high of 72 degrees, a little bit cooler near the lake, 44 right now.
New immigration rules in place since the end of Title 42 said to be keeping thousands of asylum seekers away. President Biden noting a 50% drop in applications.
Look, they have gone down. My hope is they'll continue to go down, but we have a lot more work to do. And we need some more help from the Congress as well.
The president talking to reporters yesterday in Delaware. Meantime, Ukraine's President Zelensky is in London this morning, meeting with Britain's prime minister, who has agreed to send more military aid from the UK in the fight against Russia's invasion.
We're thankful from all our hearts, from Ukrainians, from our soldiers. We are thankful.
Zelensky on a whirlwind European tour, drumming up support from allies. And car maker General Motors recalling nearly 1 million vehicles over concerns about potentially faulty airbags. The recall affects the Buick Enclave, the Chevy Traverse, and the GMC Acadia, made between 2014 and 2017. The maker of the actual airbag inflator at the center of the recall, pushing back against issuing a larger recall, impacting more cars. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, Milwaukee police investigating an overnight crash that killed 4 people. This happened at 60th and Fond du Lac around midnight. 4 people were tossed out of one of the cars, all pronounced dead at the scene. According to the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner, 3 of the people killed were teenagers. 1 driver said to be in serious condition. The other was arrested and likely to face charges.
And now former MPS staffer due back in court today after he was accused of sexually assaulting students at a Milwaukee public school. Randall Jefferson, 33 years old, faces 10 felonies, including 3 counts of soliciting a child for prostitution. Now, according to the criminal complaint, this lasted for more than 2 years. He'd pressured 4 students to perform sex acts. The complaint says Jefferson would offer these students, all of which were 13 or 14 years old, money or gifts in exchange for those sex acts. Jefferson, who is listed as a 6th grade substitute teacher at O.W. Holmes Middle School on MBS's website, will be back in court today.
At least 10 knives were recovered at the scene of a stabbing that injured 4 people in Milwaukee. That was early Saturday evening. Milwaukee police said it was a large fight that broke out between a 14-year-old girl and a 15-year-old girl near 27th and Hope. Both of them ended up in the hospital. 18-year-old woman sustained injuries, was treated at the scene. 3 other women, 32, 19, and 17, all taken into custody.
This incident happened in about a mile away from a Safe Summer Kickoff event, which was helped to promote safe youth activities. Officials at the event tell TMJ4 News.
I saw the text message. I said, oh, my God. And then finding out there was children involved.
And it's just heartbreaking and just trying to start our summer off right.
It takes all of us to come together.
Charges are pending.
At least 3 federal agencies involved in an investigation involving a Rockwell automation facility in China. The company is headquartered here in Milwaukee on the south side. It's accused of giving China access at the China facility to a computer code that would put the United States at risk of cyber attacks. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the code would allow access to the national power grid, the U.S. Navy, and other parts of the federal government. Rockwell says it has not yet been informed about a government investigation.
Coming up, she's known for rolling in the deep, but now Adele's rolling in some big money.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
In Wisconsin, making memories together is for everyone, whatever your ability. So here's to soaking up surf culture right here on Wisconsin's Fresh Coast. to making time for stargazing as a family, and to imaginations cleared for takeoff. Here's to festies with besties and singing along to your favorite song. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
May is here, and as a Wisconsinite, you know that marks the start of sun, warmth, and joy. So when the rubber meets the road, you better be ready for the changing weather and adventures that may lie ahead. This is Jim Griffin. We have you covered with the marvelous service specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC or your heat, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. Good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach. One who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Brewers back out on the road this week. Greg Matzik joins us in sports at 6:45.
We Energies is asking for customers to pay attention to a new phishing tool that's being used to take care of some customers. Customers reported that their information is being stolen by people impersonating the company. So Brennan Conway, spokesperson for the utility, tells TMJ4 News that these phishers are buying an ad that shows up above the official website and displays a phone number. People are then calling that number and handing out their personal information.
In some cases, we're finding out that customers did unfortunately give some information, and then they're having money taken out of their accounts. In some cases, these criminals will then call us pretending to be the customer to try to get even more personal information.
Conway says the best way to stay safe is to only call the phone number that's on the We Energies app or on your personal bill.
A bill to repeal certain taxes on business assets is headed for the state Senate floor this week.
The personal property tax repeal would allow, for example, restaurants to not be taxed on assets like tables and chairs. This has long been a target for Republicans, including Senator Dan Knodel, who tells WISC TV News,
It's just a burden off everybody and makes doing business here in the state of Wisconsin a little bit better.
However, Democrats like Senator Kelda Roys oppose the bill.
I don't think you can pass a bill that takes money away from local governments without ensuring that you're going to make up the revenue for them.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
Forget rolling in the deep. How about rolling in the cash?
She just signed the richest deal in Las Vegas history for her extended Sin City residency. She's expected to rake in roughly $2 million every time she takes to the stage at Caesar's Palace. And she's agreed to do another 34 shows, so if you're doing the math, the total 60-show deal at the Coliseum will net her a guaranteed $105 million. So how much will you have to fork out to see her rolling in the dough? The cheapest seat at the 4,200-seat arena for opening night is going for around $600. The shows run on weekends through November. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Yeah, Adele having a good run. Good for her.
$2 million a show.
Not bad.
That's pretty solid.
That is not bad.
Pretty solid income. 6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Gabe Colasari is the IT manager at R.J. Schinner, the redistribution specialist. Gabe, R.J. Schinner is a Wisconsin-headquartered company, just like James Imaging Systems.
Yes, we're also nationwide, so we're able to get support at all our other locations that we have with partners that they've partnered with.
Simply put, Gabe, you can trust James Imaging Systems here, there, or just about anywhere.
Yep, they're the imaging professionals. it's something that we don't have to worry about. So yeah, we want that trusted partnership.
James Imaging Systems, Toshiba copier printers, managed print services, document management software.
It's a one-stop shop. We have other projects we're going to be working with James Imaging on besides just printers.
Start your trusted partnership with James Imaging Systems today, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by Built Right Furniture, Leather and Mattresses.
For affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, you've got to get to Built Right today. Built Right Furniture saves you money. 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Checking into the roads here with Debbie, and then, Debbie, a Magic Bus update.
Oh, good. Excellent. At this point, we're in good shape around the area. Volume is relatively light, although it's starting to build up a little bit, but no major delays out there, so we are in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-60s, closer to Lake Michigan, low 70s, farther inland, winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, lows dropping into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. Mostly sunny for Tuesday with falling temperatures during the afternoon. Slight chance of a shower, highs in the mid-70s, but back into the 50s by the evening. Mostly sunny for Wednesday, highs in the 50s and 60s. Sunshine is back for Thursday with a high of 67 and a chance of showers on Friday with highs in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now in Milwaukee, we're at 43 degrees. Got a big news update on the new bus rapid transit system in Milwaukee. Do you believe me? I said a big news update.
Okay.
Okay. Any excuse to get into it, but there actually is some news on this because the bus rapid transit line on Wisconsin Avenue launches in just a few weeks, and it will not only get you to your destination just slightly faster than a regular bus, it's also going to be free. So this, Eric, will make the Magic Bus even more magical.
So what do you mean free?
So they're actually offering, they found a sponsor to sponsor free rides for the first few months of the Magic Bus. Now, this is the bus that, at a startup cost of about $50 million, most of it was federal money, that it's going to run in dedicated lanes on Wisconsin Avenue and Blue Mound Road from the lakefront to the medical complex in Wauwatosa. Actually, if you've been driving on Blue Mound in Wisconsin, the markings are already there.
Already setting it up?
Yeah. I got caught up in that the other night leaving American Family Field, and I'm like, wait, I'm in the rapid bus lane. No bus in there.
I was going to say, there wasn't any buses, though. You're right.
And didn't get in any trouble for it, but we're going to have to figure this thing out on the roads. It's magic, as the county has predicted in public hearings and documents, that so many people, thousands in fact, who already have cars, will be so enamored of the Magic Bus that they will ditch their cars and start taking this bus instead. Now, I don't know about all that, but here's the news. The Magic Bus will be free to ride starting on its launch date June 4th through September 30th. So MCTS has a sponsorship agreement with UMO Mobility to provide the rides free of charge. UMO is, from what I can gather, the new fare collection system. So they're the ones who produce the software and the hardware and stuff like that. So they, hey, help us out here.
Sure, yeah.
So they decided to sponsor.
I like
UMO
that.
is. So you'll get a chance to sample the Magic Bus, and maybe you'll like it, and then maybe you'll ride it.
It's kind of like a cable subscription where, you get HBO for free for a bit.
Right, and then what do you do after the free trial?
Well, just automatically start paying for it. Right?
Right. If they had a way to keep charging you to ride in 3 months now, we just start charging you. Right.
You don't even realize it.
I definitely applaud the county on going for this. So they found a way to make it free, and they used one of their partners to do it. I think that's good. I'm also not rooting against the Magic Bus. I hope it works. I just don't think it's going to. I think it's not going to be well utilized. I think it's a huge investment in both federal and local tax dollars, and we don't have a way to pay for it because MCTS is in some serious trouble, as they've indicated, in terms of their budgeting. They're talking about a $20 million deficit perhaps as early as next year. 2025.
Okay.
So we have the startup costs paid for, but we don't have the operating costs. So we're going to give you a few months to try it for free. They hope people will like it and continue to ride, and then I think it's $2 each way, $4 round trip.
That's not a lot of money.
It's not. Still probably cheaper to drive, even with gas at $3.50 a gallon.
And insurance and places to park.
All right.
Come on now. This could work.
It could. We'll keep an eye on it, but at least for the first
Okay. All
for,
right.
for the first 3 months, it's going to be free on the Magic Bus.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit buytheyard.net. That's buytheyard.net.
Sometimes saying, I've got a guy, isn't convenient when you need a lot of different people for different needs. A roof guy, paint guy, interior remodel guy, J&J Contractors do it all. With top-of-the-line quality craftsmanship that's all custom or semi-custom.
In addition to full interior remodels, J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team members use high-quality materials for all of your exterior needs: roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Contact them today to schedule a consultation. Just Google J&J Contractors.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, the Brewers complete a 3-game sweep of the Royals and a 4-2 homestand with Sunday's 9-6 win.
The 0-1 delivery, swing and a drive to right and deep and way out of here and gone for Christian Yelich. Well, he's back in tune, I'd say.
Bob Uecker with the call. 2 hits, 2 RBI for Yelich. He has 3 home runs in his last 2 games, hitting .348 with 4 home runs in the month of May. Take a little momentum on the road tonight. It's game 1 of a 6-game road trip for the Crew, and the first of 3 against the Cardinals. Our coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news. In the NBA, the Boston Celtics advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals with a blowout win over the 76ers. It'll be Boston and Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Western Conference Finals features the Lakers and Nuggets. That series gets underway on Tuesday night with the first of this best-of-7 series. And Mark Jackson will interview for the Bucks head coaching vacancy, according to Sham Charania of The Athletic.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Greg Matzik.
Dead last in the division, worst start in 50 years. The St. Louis Cardinals are a mess, and I'm here for it. I've never liked the Cardinals, and I likely never will, but with all my personal angst for the team that has ruined more than one postseason for the Brewers, I've always respected the way the Cardinals have handled their business off the field. As for this season, however, top prospect Jordan Walker sent to the minors after beginning his big league career, recording a 12-game hitting streak. The PR nightmare continued when manager Oliver Marmol announced that catcher Wilson Contreras was being moved off his position to play a little DH, maybe in the outfield. A move that was supposed to last several weeks has been reversed amid backlash. Contreras signed a 5-year, $87 million contract in the offseason. Despite winning 3 in a row, the Cardinals are still 16-25 this season and in last place in the NL Central entering tonight's game against the Brewers. Well run, organized, smart, and always a threat to make a deep run. That's the Cardinals I've known for the bulk of my adult life. Until this year.
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
If there's ever terrain in which you can say in politics, hey, get off my lawn, and add an expletive or two, that's one of them.
To Capitol Hill.
If you're not talking about what you've done, who do you expect to do it?
And everything in between.
There has to be other issues more relevant in Wisconsin than that.
CBS News' Major Garrett joins Wisconsin's Afternoon News every Tuesday at 3:45 on News Radio WTMJ.
I'm going through a learning curve. Hey, everybody, Debbie Lazaga for Hall Automotive here, and this learning curve is a fun one. Everybody goes through it with new cars. Yep. One of the more annoying things that I had about my old car was no radio. Yeah, it fried out when I put a new battery in. I know, it's ironic. Radio person doesn't have a radio in her car. Got it. Not a problem, though, in this brand new CX-30 I just got. This new system includes Apple CarPlay, Pandora, Bluetooth, and a full array of all the radio stations in town, though you know which one I always have it tuned to. The point is I have a choice now, and I have the folks at Hall Mazda to thank for it. They taught me how to access the smorgasbord of infotainment, too. Curious? Check out Hall Mazda in Brookfield. It's Hall good.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in at 10 minutes before 7 o'clock on the roads. What do you have, Deb?
Uh-oh, got a problem. On eastbound 94 in the stadium interchange, looks like we've got a broken down vehicle that might require some lane closures, so heads up with that. Strangely enough, the delays are actually on the westbound side. So we've got 35th Street out to about Mitchell Boulevards where it's slowing down, but everywhere else actually is looking pretty good, so we don't really have too many problems. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 72 degrees, 65 at the lake today under mostly sunny skies. Then mostly clear tonight with temperatures dropping to the upper 40s to low 50s. Tuesday, mostly sunny, but then the story of the day is going to be temperatures that drop rapidly in the afternoon. One of those big old cold fronts coming through with a chance of thunder showers when it does. So you got a high of 74 on Tuesday. That temperature will drop into the 50s by the late afternoon. And Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Right now in Milwaukee, we're at 43 degrees. Coming up on 6:52 here on Wisconsin's Morning News. On Monday mornings, we're joined by our teammate over at 101.7 The Truth, Telly Hughes. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hey, so I wondered if you saw this in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel over the weekend. There's a study about how we are talking about politics in our lives, and I just thought this would be an interesting thing to bring up. So here's the headline, okay? Political rifts end friendships, spark safety fears in Wisconsin, but civics can be healed.
That is very interesting, Vince. It really is.
You had to break up with any people in your life over politics?
You know, when you mentioned that to me, I had to think about it, and I play a lot of golf, and there's a lot of different opinionated people that play golf. Let's just say that.
Plus, you're trying to play golf.
And you're trying to play golf.
I don't want to be mad.
But, no, I have never ended a friendship, but I have limited communication with someone, especially around the election cycle.
Interesting. So you are reflected in this survey. So they surveyed more than 3,000 people, did the UW-Madison Center for Communication and Civic Renewal. Couple of takeaways from it. Stopping political discussion. 60% say disagreements ended conversations. I'd say I'm surprised it's that low.
Exactly.
I mean, it's different to end a conversation than it is a friendship, but there have been a few where you're just like, all right, I'm out. This is too hot for me. I'm getting mad. You're getting mad.
That's exactly how it ends for me. And it's not a thing of walking away with a grudge or just being upset at this person. It's like, okay, you feel this way. I'm going to let you feel that way. I feel this way. It's all good. I still like you as a person, not your political beliefs. But yes, it can. I've seen it really get heated, and just like you, Vince, I'm like, all right, this is a little too hot for me. Let me get out of this kitchen.
I like the "it's not you, it's me" routine. I mean, we can go with that, right? When we break up with our friends.
Yeah.
Well, and on that, cutting ties, 17% ended friendships or distanced from relatives over politics. Here's what they wrote. The fallout from Wisconsin's political divide can go deeper, limiting or ending long-standing personal relationships. 17% of Wisconsinites report completely ending a friendship or spending less time with a family member due to political disagreement, including 25% of Democrats, 10% of Republicans.
Wow.
So that's like, I can't be with you anymore. To some extent, you might defend it in that if all we do when we get together is talk about politics, and if all we do when we talk about politics is argue, what are we doing here?
But also, how can one political figure determine or dictate your relationship with your family? That, to me, is the most amazing thing. It's like, okay, because of what Vince believes, I am not going to talk to my cousin, or my brother or sister. To me, it does get that heated and that divided. I don't believe it should really get that way because kind of presidents come and go. That's why they have terms. And I kind of look at it like
might be my guy this time. It's going to be your guy next time.
Exactly. So kind of deal with it. But I don't think you should just go off on the deep end and say, okay, my allegiance is with this political figure over my family. That is crazy to me.
I think there are certain people, I know there are people in my life with whom, and I would not define myself this way as someone who's going to, get up in somebody else's business about politics, but I fall into it. And
you get into people's business.
I turn into a guy I don't want to be.
You start
like how? Is it just
we just start talking, okay, you and me, we just start talking about something, and then you get hot and I start getting hot. I get angry at a person that I like or care about. And I'm like, why are we doing this? I have a couple relationships in my life where I'm like, let's just not do it.
Yeah.
And part of it comes from, my wife always says this about things. Are you listening to understand, or are you listening to respond? So am I really listening to you because I want to see where you're coming from, because I want to hear what you're saying? Or am I just waiting for my turn to be like, you're on, get it? Oh, yeah.
It's usually the latter. Right. Most people are just waiting for you to shut up so they can start talking and get their point across. And they're not listening. You're right. Your wife's right. You not right.
Yeah, right.
Your wife's right.
That's right, always. One piece of hope here in the study, survey of more than 3,000 Wisconsinites. They say some support for compromise is probably a wish that the other side will make major concessions, and compromise can sometimes undermine, rather strengthen democracy. But 74% support compromise to solve problems. I think to that latter point, though, sometimes we say, people call all the time on the show, Eric, and they text in and they say, we need to get together on this. We need to get together on this. But very often it's, as long as y'all see where I'm going.
Yes.
As long as you're all on board with me. We need to compromise.
And to me, what is the ultimate goal? What are you trying to get out of these conversations? Because it seems like it's only one way. It's going to get heated and ends bad.
Right.
What is the best case scenario? I'll tell you what the best case scenario is. I agree with what you believe. Or you believe what I believe. That's the best case scenario.
I fixed you.
Yes. It's like, all right, finally, you see things the way I see them. It's not proving any point other than that.
Next time, just talk about the weather. Telly Hughes is over on 101.7 The Truth. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Business headlines are up next. They're sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
After a $50,000 rehab to add a beer trailer with a dozen taps, Juneau Park in Milwaukee is ready to open a permanent Sprecher beer garden starting May 24th. Plans for a $450 million redevelopment of downtown Kenosha advances with an endorsement from the city's Plan Commission. That project is led by Cobalt Partners of Milwaukee and builder C.D. Smith. About 100 builders are hard at work each day at the Nova apartment building in downtown Milwaukee. That 8-story structure with 251 apartments welcomes its first residents in August. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Need a new bank for your small business? How about an old one? Now through June 30th, you can earn up to a $500 cash bonus when you open a free or basic business checking account with Old National. So think big when it comes to your small business and choose a bank where relationships and results have mattered for nearly 200 years. Visit a local banking center or learn more at oldnational.com/success today. Complete qualifying activities within 60 days of account opening. $50 minimum initial deposit required. Account must remain open 120 days. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Brian D. Summer. It is right around the corner. You know what that means. Graduations, weddings, all of the fun events that come along with the sunshine. Make sure you have your best smile on display when you're out and about. And for all the photos you're going to be taking, go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care. Whether it's a regular routine cleaning, a simple exam, a more complex procedure, a teeth whitening, Dr. Michaels and the team at Oconomowoc Dental Care are the best. They're going to make you as comfortable as possible while you're in the chair and give both you and your family an amazing smile. How do I know? He's my dentist. He takes care of me just like he's going to take great care of you. At Oconomowoc Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream. It is the reality. Dr. Michaels' fantastic staff can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care.
Heard it work? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
A little birdie told us you're not doing so hot.
Here it is, swinging a line drive to a leaping grab by Willie Adames. He timed it perfectly and pulled it down.
The Brewers are in St. Louis with coverage starting at 6:10. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Monday, May 15th. Our top story: an overnight crash killed 4 people, including 3 teens on Milwaukee's northwest side.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A former MPS staffer faces 10 felonies.
Etzek, another name on the Bucks coaching search list.
I'm Debbie Laziga. I got some problems on westbound 94 now. We've got an accident right about at 30th Street that's got the left lane blocked. Front end of one car all crunched up, rear end of another all crunched up too. So just be careful. We've got to hit slowing back to about 20th Street right now as we are going along. Eastbound is slowing down a little bit through the stadium as well, where we have a broken down vehicle. Looks like they just closed the ramp from Brewers Boulevard northbound to eastbound on 94 in the stadium, so watch out for that. Rest of the system looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny skies today and a high of 72 degrees, a little bit cooler near the lake. Mostly clear tonight. Temperatures dropping down in the upper 40s to low 50s overnight. Right now we are at 47 degrees in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee police investigating this overnight crash. 4 people killed. Happened near 60th and Fond du Lac right about midnight. 4 people were thrown from one car, all of them pronounced dead at the scene. Milwaukee County Medical Examiner confirmed that 3 of the people killed were teenagers. One driver is said to be in serious condition. The other driver was arrested and expected to face charges. More information on the crash up at WTMJ.com and on our WTMJ mobile app.
And now former MPS staffer is due back in court today after he's accused of sexually assaulting students from a Milwaukee public school.
33-year-old Randall Jefferson is charged with 10 felonies, including 3 counts of soliciting a child for prostitution and 3 counts of child enticement. According to the criminal complaint, over the course of 2 years, Jefferson pressured 4 students to perform oral sex on him on multiple different occasions. The complaint says Jefferson would offer the victims, all of which were 13 or 14 years old, money or gifts in exchange for the sexual acts. Jefferson, who is listed as a 6th grade substitute teacher at O.W. Holmes Middle School, will be back in court today for a preliminary hearing. Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
Federal investigators in Sauk County looking into the middle school girl who was killed when she was hit by a pickup truck while waiting for the school bus. 13-year-old Evelyn Gurney died Friday morning outside of Reedsburg after a truck failed to stop behind the school bus before swerving and then hitting the girl. National Transportation Safety Board says it will conduct the investigation with the Sauk County Sheriff's Office. Authorities have yet to identify the suspect. They have not indicated whether charges will be sought.
Crossings at the border with Mexico are down since the COVID-era policy Title 42 ended last week. They were expected to go up. CBS News' correspondent Wai Zhejiang.
Over the weekend, migrants arrived at border fences for a shot at a new life and for help to survive.
Hambre también, tenemos mucha hambre.
You're hungry.
Hungry, yes.
Once they cross, many asylum seekers are transported across the country. But Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said strict new rules are deterring others from coming.
Over the past 2 days, the United States Border Patrol has seen an approximately 50% drop in the number of people encountered at our southern border.
China has sentenced a 78-year-old U.S. citizen to life in prison for espionage. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick.
Such severe sentences are rare for foreign citizens in China. Zhang Xingwan Liang held a U.S. passport, and this is likely to further strain relations between Washington and Beijing. He's also a permanent resident of Hong Kong. It isn't clear when he was taken into custody. The State Department says it's aware of the reports, but had no further comment.
Coming up, celebrating the life of the godfather of poker. Signing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. Don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Berghardt.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
So the short list for the Bucks head coaching job, not so short. Greg Matzik has sports coming up at 7:15.
Freighted and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network have officially broken ground on a Wauwatosa structure that'll house a multi-million-dollar cancer therapy site. The center will be just one of 43 across the U.S. that provides proton therapy treatments, which, according to the Milwaukee Business Journal, provides more effective cancer control, reduced side effects, and fewer treatment-related issues. That center expected to open up in 2025.
A Sheboygan native starts touring with his latest children's book today, and his first stop is going to be at James Madison Elementary School.
Oliver Doodle Dandy teaches about U.S. history and kindness. Todd Zimmerman wrote the story using characters from his Christmas book series.
All their friends who came to life through the magic of Christmas are now practicing for their own 4th of July parade.
Zimmerman is reading his book today at the elementary school he attended, where children will also be writing notes of love for Operation Finally Home, a nonprofit that builds homes for veterans and first responders.
But the walls and the studs and the 2x4s are all filled with these notes. Thank you for your service. God bless America. Welcome to your new home.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The godfather of poker has died.
They tell me I'm intimidating. They tell me I can melt a man with my stare.
Doyle Brunson, also known as Texas Dolly, was one of the most influential players of all time and a two-time world champion. Of the new generation, he told Poker Go,
I think that all these younger players, they incorporate the math into the poker too much, in my opinion. I don't think that they put enough emphasis on reading the other player and getting inside his head.
A Poker Hall of Famer, Brunson won 10 World Series of poker tournaments, second only to Phil Hellmuth's 16. Doyle Brunson was 89. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I mean, basically, he's saying what we've been saying about sports. Analytics destroyed that, too. Don't do the math. Play your gut, son. 7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
In the past 70 years, there's something that has never changed. The kitchen. Oh, it may look a little different as the decades have passed, but it's always been where family gathers for meals, memories, and more. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has always understood that and remains dedicated to making that important space special.
With an expansive 18,000 square foot showroom filled with full-size displays featuring Play-Doh custom cabinetry, award-winning designers, plus their own in-house installation department, let Wisconsin Kitchen Mart transform your kitchen into a true gathering place.
I'm Robert Iskey, Vice President and Designer from Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. We've been remodeling kitchens and baths since 1951 and can help establish a vision for your remodel. We bring the carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and everyone else needed to make your dream kitchen a reality.
Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart on the corner of West Wisconsin Avenue and 36th Street in Milwaukee. Online at wisconsinkitchenmart.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com because today's your day.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica here on the traffic.
Yep, couple of problems. First of all, on 94 eastbound. Well, technically, it's the Brewers Boulevard on-ramp to 94 eastbound in the stadium. That's closed right now because a broken-down vehicle is on it, so just be careful. The westbound side is pretty tough. Right now, we've got an accident at 30th Street. That's got the left lane blocked, so we've got backups stretching back towards the Marquette past 16th Street. That's probably going to get into the Marquette itself sooner rather than later, so give yourself that extra time. Southbound 43 so far is looking pretty good, though, all the way down from Brown Deer Road into the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, mostly sunny with high temperatures in the mid-60s near Lake Michigan, low 70s farther to the west. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight with lows dropping into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. More sunshine for Tuesday with falling temperatures during the afternoon and a chance for an afternoon shower. Highs in the mid-70s but back into the 50s by the evening. Mostly sunny for Wednesday with highs in the 50s and low 60s. Mostly sunny for Thursday with a high of 67 and a chance of showers on Friday with a high of 65. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, our Milwaukee temperature at 46 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
You had a chance to check out the video, didn't you? He looks good, doesn't he?
He looks really good, very comfortable.
So you hear Debbie doing her traffic updates from the Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Center. Great partners of ours here at WTMJ. So we had a bit of a field trip on Friday. Scafidi went out there, I went out there. A bunch of folks from our promotions team was out there because they were celebrating their 10-year anniversary. So Johnson & Sons, great local family-owned company, and again, our proud partners here at WTMJ. So they invited us to the party. So Scafidi goes out there, and he says he wants to get in an excavator, which I'm going to describe this very poorly because, I don't know, I'm not like construction guy, but excavator is one of these things. It has a cab in it with big controls, and it's got a long arm that comes out like the big claw. And on the back of the claw, or the front end, I guess, is like a hand. It's like got the spikes on it. And
you can see them at road construction sites a lot of times.
And they're digging ditches and stuff like that, and they're moving things
clearing
around.
debris sometimes.
Moving big rocks.
Yeah.
So at Johnson & Sons, where they make their own asphalt, and they also do paving projects, whether it be roads or parking lots or things like that, they also put down a rock bed underneath what they lay on top of it. And so they were crushing rock used for this. So there are all these big old boulders. A lot of the material is recycled. So you tear up a freeway somewhere, this stuff comes over to Johnson & Sons in Menominee Falls. They smash that all up and they use it for something else. So Scafidi gets in this cab. Guy gives him like a 30-second, 1-minute coach him up job. And now he's running the excavator. He looks right at home in the cab.
Oh, my gosh. So comfortable. Sitting back, kind of lounging a little bit. Got his helmet on.
Right? A little hard hat on.
Yep.
The hard hat, they gave him a hard hat that said new guy. So he's in there scooping up rocks. Then he's got over to the side, and then
Yep.
Big rocks go in this container or whatever, and then they crush it. They put it in the crusher. Up this conveyor belt it goes, then it goes in the pile. So who knows? You could someday soon be driving on a road partially created by Steve Scafidi. How about that?
The Stever way.
The Stever way. I got to fill 2 dump trucks full of asphalt.
Now, how'd you do that? You press a button, or what do you
basically.
do?
I just clicked a mouse. Doug was up there. He does all the computer. They got like 3-4 screens, right? And it's got this is where the mix is. This is how hot it is. This is what percentage of it is this. This is what percentage of it is that. Bzz, 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 bzz. They mix it up. It's 300-plus degrees. Here comes the truck. All right, click.
Is it like the yogurt place where you can pick a couple of different flavors to put in there?
And you always overfill it? You better not. Man, everything was computerized. Great local partners and friends of ours. So if you have a paving project, we'd love to see you go out Johnson & Sons. And who knows, it could be made by Steve Scafidi. But don't let that stop you from contacting them. 7:15, Greg's got sports coming up next. Sports is sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Greg Matzik for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Hey, summer is near, and the Memorial Day sale at Holiday is here. Prime time to say yes to enticing offers on Wisconsin favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Or explore the exceptional value and peace of mind of a GM-certified pre-owned model. Make Holiday your destination to get more vehicle for your buck, more for your trade, and enjoy award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State. And I'm one of those fans, and know from my own personal experience, you'll be in excellent hands with Team Holiday on your side. Proud and grateful to be recognized as Buick Dealer of the Year per 2022 Buick Zone sales records. With selection expanding daily, you can choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way. Find yours and discover the difference during the Memorial Day sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion.
Financial strategies, what's the way to build your wealth?
FinancialStrategiesInc.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Yeah, it's official. I think Christian Yelich in a bit of a groove, hitting .348 in the month of May, 3 home runs in his last 2 games, including one during yesterday's 9-6 win over the Royals.
Again, we don't know exactly. You know, you guys ask me that all the time. It's a baseball season. If we had all the answers to those kind of questions, then this would be a different sport. But he's swinging the bat well. That's why you play guys every single day, because they have the ability to do this. And he's found a nice little stretch here where he's squaring some balls up.
It's Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Milwaukee's won 5 of 7 after dropping 6 straight. 6-game road trip begins tonight against the last-place Cardinals. Our coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news. Cardinals played last night and won in Boston. Speaking of Boston...
Tatum fires away, puts it in! 51 for Jason Tatum in Game 7. on the way down the floor, holds up a 50 sign. And he now has the record for most points in a Game 7.
Yeah, 51 points for Jason Tatum in the Celtics blowout win over the 76ers, 112-88 the final. Mark Jackson, Mike Breen with the call on ABC. Celtics will take on the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. In the West, the Lakers and Denver Nuggets begin a best-of-7 series Tuesday night. That surprise news on the coaching front. 2022 NBA Coach of the Year Monty Williams fired by the Phoenix Suns after being eliminated by the Nuggets in the playoffs. So the Suns, the Bucks, the Raptors, and Pistons all searching for a head coach. The Pistons have narrowed their search down to 3, a list that includes Bucks assistant Charles Lee. I mentioned Mark Jackson's name there moments ago during the call of the ABC broadcast. Vinny, he's now in contention for the Bucks job. He'll interview. I'd be curious to see if Monty Williams is added to that list. The Bucks had interest in him prior to hiring Mike Budenholzer. So it's an ever-growing list here for the Bucks, who have the luxury of time. You'd like to get somebody in place before the Summer League begins in July. But the Bucks have one draft pick. It's number 58 overall, last pick in the second round, right? You don't have to get a guy in or a lady in to coach this team prior to the NBA draft. That's not critical. But I would think this will happen here sometime in the month of June. That would be my guess for the Bucks coaching search.
This is the premier job available, though, right? Like nobody's passing on this job.
I think so.
Right?
I think it's Bucks and Suns. If I'm looking at it, Kevin Durant is still under control, right? I mean, he's an MVP caliber piece, just like Giannis is. Giannis a little younger, of course, but the Suns' job, I think, is also attractive. I'd put the Bucks and Suns at the top of that list for sure.
Coming up, growing produce in the city of Milwaukee year-round. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The Brewers Radio Network's Lane Grindle sees it all from the broadcast booth.
Down the right field line, this is up and it is going to fly out of here.
But what's he like off the air?
It's 2023. It's the year of the cheesehead.
Lane Grindle joins Wisconsin's afternoon news every Monday during the Brewers 2023 campaign.
There'd be nothing better in my life than to be the brother of Lane Grindle.
I did not have a brother, so, John, we can make honorary brothers.
Right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hey, it's Eric Bilstead with WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News for J.D. Griffiths. So my wife had some moms over on Saturday for a little champagne toast.
Okay.
Celebrate the Mother's Day, some of the moms in the neighborhood, and she goes to me, hey, can you grab the umbrella out of the attic in the garage? So I go up in the attic in the garage, and and it's tall. It's like 8 feet tall once you put it in the little post and all that. So my 13-year-old's helping me as I'm getting it out of there, and I'm like, hey, keep that away from the garage doors, please. It's really tall. It can be heavy. I'm like, don't not scratch the garage doors, please. And he goes, okay. I'm like, no, I'm serious,
I'm telling
kid.
you.
So then he kind of carries it and it's wobbling around. I'm like, dude, you will lose something if you scratch those doors, and I will lose something as well. I'm going to lose it anyway.
It's the showpiece at the Bilstead home.
So he carried this heavy umbrella down for me, and he didn't scratch anything. Thankfully, J.D. Griffiths, they've been doing it for more than 70 years. Milwaukee's premier provider and builder of garage doors, and I got 2 brand new ones that I just love. It makes the house pop. And we went to the website, jdgriffiths.com. That's how we first started this process a couple of months ago. We went to jdgriffiths.com, set ourselves up for a free at-home estimate. Ken was over, took a look, told us what we could do. We customized it. We have windows now in there, so we get the natural light. It just looks really nice, and I just love going in my garage now just because of that. J.D. Griffiths. And by the way, they don't just do the new garage doors. They also offer affordable servicing of existing garage doors. And don't forget, they are your local custom detached garage builder as well. J.D. Griffiths. Just keep your kid away from them if you have any umbrellas that they're trying to get out. jdgriffiths.com is the website. jdgriffiths.com. Schedule your free at-home estimate today.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Checking into the roads here at 722. What do you have, Deb?
Yeah, we've got this ramp from northbound Brewers Boulevard to 94 eastbound in the stadium interchange. That's closed still because of a broken down vehicle. And then we've also got this accident on 94 westbound right at about 30th Street. The left lane is blocked, so it's backing things up back through the Marquette, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, southbound 41's showing a little bit of backup right at Capitol Drive, but nothing major, really. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm Team forecast, 72 degrees for your high temperature, a little bit cooler near the lake under mostly sunny skies today. We got a good one. Mostly clear tonight. Low temperatures dipping down to the upper 40s to low 50s. For Tuesday, we start the day mostly sunny and a high of 74 degrees. And then the cold front blows through, like now they're saying, during the afternoon, and will drop our temperatures into the 50s with a chance for a thunder shower. And mostly sunny on Wednesday with a high of 62 degrees, a little bit cooler near the lake. Right now in Milwaukee, we're at 47 degrees. At 7:23 on this Monday morning. This next story really takes urban farming to a different level. In an industrial corridor in the heart of the city of Milwaukee, fresh produce is growing year-round. The team behind it says it's not only a marvel in terms of its process, but that the stuff is cleaner and healthier too. WTMJ's Tony Cartagena.
From seed to sale, literally when someone's opening the product, it was inside this controlled, sterile environment the entire time, maintained at a safe temperature, which as a result means you don't even need to wash our product. It's ready to eat. It's almost like Willy Wonka of lettuce.
That's Chris Corkery. He's the owner and founder of 100 Acre, a vertical hydroponic farm located right off of 31st and Capitol in the heart of Milwaukee. So now the obvious questions. What is vertical hydroponic farming and what is 100 Acre?
We built out a box with a lot of advanced infrastructure inside that recreates Mother Nature to offer perfect growing conditions 365 days a year, right? So we're playing Mother Nature here so that no matter what's going on outside, snow, heat wave, all the stuff that Wisconsin loves to throw at people, it's consistent in here.
So the 100 Acre warehouse is about 3,000 square feet. And when you walk in, you see racks of plants stacked 5 high, about 10 feet in the air. That's the vertical part. But what does hydroponic mean?
A method of agriculture that does not involve soil. So you're growing your plants, the seeds themselves are suspended in a medium with nutrient-rich water passing over them. So there's zero soil, which does a great job in removing risk, contaminants and things like that. So it's a super clean, efficient process.
But if you're growing specifically with water, your usage has to be through the roof, right? Like how expensive is your water bill?
We actually use about 95% less water than a traditional soil-based farming because it's closed. It's a closed-loop system. There's no runoff. There's no loss. The only water that we really lose is the plants sucking it up and then perspiring, which is all around the process of growing. Really clean and actually efficient when you think about water conservation.
So you're telling me the salad blend and the fresh basil that you grow in a warehouse in Milwaukee with light bulbs and no dirt is just as good for me, if not better for me, than the original salad I would just go to the grocery store and buy in a bag?
The process of growing is still going back to the basics. It's 100% natural. We just use certain organic compounds and a purified water source to feed these plants. So there's nothing harmful going in there. In fact, we're more pure or cleaner and less risk in the fact that we're not dealing with the outdoor elements like pests and other sources of contamination. We are in a laboratory style condition, so you're getting a guaranteed freshness and top-level food safety because of the way we can monitor, implement these controls. So much so that it's a single cut, meaning that our farmers, with the proper food safety certification, do a single cut off of the growing medium, and is packaged immediately. And that is goes into bags, and into boxes, and then into the walk-ins. So from seed to sale, literally when someone's opening the product, it was inside this controlled, sterile environment the entire time, maintained at a safe temperature, which as a result means you don't even need to wash our product. It's ready to eat. It's almost like a Willy Wonka of lettuce.
100 Acre produces 50,000 pounds of produce annually. Tony Cartagena, WTMJ News.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed Friday at 33,301. That was off less than 10 points. NASDAQ to 12,285. That dropped about 44 points in the S&P 500. Down about 7 to 4124. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today. Let's take a minute of R&R. R&R Insurance, that is. R&R Insurance does a great job of providing employee benefits to all of us here at Good Karma Brands. Business insurance seems to be getting more complex these days, though. To share some knowledge about this topic and its impact on business, here is Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Yeah, Vince, let me tell you what headwinds commercial insurance buyers are facing today. Catastrophic storms in the Midwest and South are destroying the earnings of insurance companies and driving premiums higher. Inflation, higher costs of capital, and economic uncertainty. If your agent's not discussing these important risk management topics and options with you, you're putting your business in jeopardy.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As the knowledge brokers, we bring deep industry knowledge and 48 years of local ownership and stability to today's market. As a business insurance top 100 agency, R&R Insurance is focused on you, the client, and protecting everything you've worked so hard for. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Trust the auto experts at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You know us for tires and batteries, trust and care, offering unbeatable deals on name brand automotive supplies and service. Like 20% off select floor mats, seat covers, and steering wheel covers. Rewards members buy any two, get a steering wheel cover free. 5-quart jugs of Valvoline synthetic motor oil, just $22.99 after $10 mail-in rebate. And McGuire's car wash, wax, or interior protectant spray is just $9.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The Simply Yours sofa from Penny Mustard is like a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Because you choose your own features.
Arm style, cushions, back, legs, finish, fabric, color, everything.
If you choose the Slay the Dragon, turn to page 34.
But to choose a sofa that's the envy of all your friends, turn to Penny Mustard.
Choose your own furniture adventure. Come see the Simply Yours sofa, made in the USA with a solid wood frame and ultra-high-density foam cushions, starting at $21.68 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
It's 7:30. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Want to get you right to your time-saver traffic with Debbie?
Yeah, things are backed up all the way back in through the Marquette, pretty much in all directions. We got an accident westbound 94 at about 30th Street. It's got the left lane blocked, really making for a headache. And the eastbound side's pretty much solid from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium, too. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time-Saver Traffic.
High is 72 degrees today, bit cooler near the lake under mostly sunny skies. Right now, we're at 44.
A massive manufacturing recall. General Motors says nearly 1 million Buick Enclaves, Chevy Traverses, and GMC Acadias made between 2014 and 2017 have potentially faulty airbags. And the maker of the airbag inflator in question, Arc Automotive, is being pressed to issue a wider recall impacting more cars.
At least 12 auto manufacturers have used Arc components in their airbags, and the recall that could ultimately affect nearly a quarter of the cars currently on the roads.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis. New, more stringent immigration rules in place since the end of Title 42 said to be keeping thousands of asylum seekers away from the southern border for now. President Biden says there's been a 50% drop in asylum applications. Immigration officials credit the limited surge on warnings that rule breakers could face a 5-year ban on entering the country. Meantime, in Washington, the threat of a debt ceiling default, lawmakers in the Biden administration have only until the end of the month to strike a deal to raise the debt limit. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, Milwaukee police investigating an overnight crash that killed 4 people. This happened near 60th and Fond du Lac about midnight. 4 people were thrown from one of the cars, all of them pronounced dead at the scene. Milwaukee County Medical Examiner confirmed 3 of the people killed were teenagers. One driver said to be in serious condition. The other arrested, likely to face charges. More information on the crash is up online at WTMJ.com or our WTMJ mobile app.
And now former MPS staffer due back in court today after he was accused of sexually assaulting students from a Milwaukee public school. Randall Jefferson, 33 years old, charged with 10 felonies. According to the criminal complaint, over the course of 2 years, Jefferson pressured 4 students to perform sex acts, and he would oftentimes offer them money or gifts in exchange for them. Jefferson, who's listed as a 6th grade substitute teacher at O.W. Holmes Middle School on MPS's website, will be back in court today for a preliminary hearing.
At least 10 knives recovered at the scene of a stabbing that injured 4 people in Milwaukee. That was early Saturday evening. Milwaukee police said it was a large fight that broke out between a 14 and 15-year-old girl near 27th and Hope Avenue. Both ended up in the hospital with their injuries. An 18-year-old woman also was injured, treated at the scene. And you have 3 other women, 32, 19, and 17, all taken into custody.
This incident happened in about a mile away from a safe summer kickoff event, which was put in place to help promote safe youth activities. People there talking to TMJ4 News.
I saw the text message. I said, oh, my God. And then finding out there was children involved.
And it's just heartbreaking and just trying to start our summer off right.
It takes all of us to come together.
Charges are expected to be reviewed by the DA's office in that stabbing case.
At least 3 federal agencies involved in an investigation that focuses on Rockwell Automation and a facility in China. Company headquartered here in Milwaukee on the south side is accused of giving their China facility access to a computer code that would put the United States at risk of cyber attack. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the code would allow access to the national power grid, the U.S. Navy, and other parts of the federal government. Rockwell says it has not yet even been informed about a government investigation.
Coming up, living under the sea for more than a month?
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
May is here. And as a Wisconsinite, you know that marks the start of sun, warmth, and joy. So when the rubber meets the road, you better be ready for the changing weather and the adventures that may lie ahead. This is Jim Griffin. Don't worry whether you are a new or existing customer on the north, west, or south side of town. You are as welcome as the flowers in May. We have you covered with the marvelous service specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC or your heat, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. During the month of May, don't let your vehicle's safety and changing weather compromise your adventures. Be ready for the roads. As much confidence and peace of mind as possible when you take advantage of the marvelous service specials good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You can give them the same old, or you can surprise them with something unique from St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Store at a bargain. Almost new, but really cool. The thing about thrift store gift shopping is that you never know what you'll find, but when you find it, you'll know it's right. That's what makes it fun. And if you just can't choose, gift cards are always available at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
If you're looking for the finest of furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Brewers off to play, can you believe it, the last place Cardinals? Sophia Minert is our guest on Brewers 360, coming up at 7:45.
A new phishing tool is being used to steal information and money from We Energy's customers. Utility spokesman Brendan Conway tells TMJ4 News that multiple customers have been tricked into handing over money and Social Security information to these scammers.
These people are buying an ad using those keywords, and that ad shows up at the top of the search results above our website and above our phone number, and the people now are calling that number thinking it's We Energies.
Now, to avoid these scams, Conway suggests only calling the number on the app or on your personal bill.
A bill to repeal taxes on certain business assets is headed for the state Senate floor this week.
The personal property tax repeal would allow, for example, restaurants to not be taxed on assets like tables and chairs. This has long been a target for Republicans, including Senator Dan Knodel, who tells WIFC TV News,
It's just a burden off everybody and makes doing business here in the state of Wisconsin a little bit better.
However, Democrats like Senator Kelda Roys oppose the bill.
I don't think you can pass a bill that takes money away from local governments without ensuring that you're going to make up the revenue for them.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
So a Florida University professor has broken the record for the longest time living underwater. And he's not done yet.
Saturday was Joseph Deturi's 74th day living at Jules Undersea Lodge. The previous world record set by 2 other professors in 2014 was 73 days. Deturi plans to make it to 100 days underwater. The lodge is located at the bottom of a 30-foot lagoon in Key Largo, Florida. During his stay, Deturi has been studying how the human body reacts to living under extreme pressure for long periods of time. And he's still teaching his biomedical engineering class online, according to the University of South Florida. The professor plans to resurface on June 9th. Matt Piper, CBS News.
I hope he's taking some vitamin D. He says he eats eggs and salmon prepared with the microwave. He exercises with resistance bands and does daily push-ups to stay active.
In an interview, he said the hardest part was they keep piping in Under the Sea from Little Mermaid. Just plays on Under the Sea.
Over and
over. And over. Just he said that started to bother him after day 40. Okay, that part was not true. 7:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wisconsin weather can put a damper on things, but don't let it ruin your outdoor plans. Sister Bay Furniture is furniture built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Built from premium, sustainable materials, Sister Bay Furniture endures the grueling conditions of Wisconsin weather. That's commercial-grade quality for your outdoor space. Stop by their showroom today, located out in Sussex on Executive Drive, or visit their website today at sisterbayfurniture.com. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs
and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group.
Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last?
Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement.
We're at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Stormfisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team members use high-quality materials for all of your exterior needs. Roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Contact them today. Just Google J&J Contractors.
Traffic is sponsored by J&J Contractors, southeastern Wisconsin's most trusted home remodeler since 1983. What's happening, Debbie?
Well, eastbound's not fun. You're going to be slow from basically Highway 100 all the way through the stadium interchange. Part of the problem is a broken down vehicle on the ramp from Brewers Boulevard to 94 eastbound, but I'm not sure if that's specifically why we're seeing that big of a delay. I think it has more to do with an accident on the westbound side. It is at 30th Street, and that is basically solid all the way back through the Marquette in all directions. Left lane still blocked, so I think the eastbound side, everybody's slowing down to take a look at this thing, because right after that accident, everything opens up into the Marquette. Go figure. So southbound 43 also seeing some backups now heading in from Bender Road down past Hampton Avenue. We've also got some delays here and there from 41 southbound right around Hampton Avenue itself, and from Capitol Drive down towards Burleigh. Heading into the Zoo interchange is actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, mainly sunny with high temperatures in the mid-60s near Lake Michigan, low 70s farther inland. Mostly clear tonight with lows dropping into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. More sunshine for Tuesday, but we do have a backdoor cold front that comes in during the afternoon. That'll take temperatures back into the 50s for the evening, and there is a slight chance for a shower. Mostly sunny for Wednesday, highs in the 50s to low 60s. More sunshine for Thursday with a high of 67, and a chance of showers on Friday with a high of 65. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
47 degrees in Milwaukee. .42 here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Yeah, I don't want it to get lost in Brendan's forecast here. For Tuesday, we got a high temperature of 74 degrees under mostly sunny skies. And then right when Eric and I are at a track meet for our kids,
oh, man,
here comes the cold
rough.
front. That's going to like, it actually makes a noise when it comes through.
Yeah,
there it is. Cold front's coming through. You're going to feel it. It's like one of those things where it happens in 5 minutes. You're out there in shorts, feeling good, and then
just like that. It's going to be awful.
Brendan says temperatures will quickly drop into the 50s and be a chance of a thunder shower. So if you got youth baseball or softball or
any
track,
type of practice or track tomorrow,
soccer, whatever's happening outside tomorrow afternoon, just be aware of that. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. We got Sophia Minert, our guest on Brewers 360. That's coming up next.
Craig Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, your destination to gear up for summer travel, score enticing offers, and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or GM certified pre-owned model. I'm confident you'll enjoy their simplified buying approach and award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Automotive, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Here's to soaking up surf culture on Wisconsin's fresh coast. Here's to beaches designed for people of all abilities. To sand between your toes and happiness in your heart. Here's to trading skylines for endless Wisconsin shorelines. And to ending each day with smiles all around. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Need a new bank for your small business? How about an old one? Now through June 30th, you can earn up to a $500 cash bonus when you open a free or basic business checking account with Old National. So think big when it comes to your small business and choose a bank where relationships and results have mattered for nearly 200 years. Visit a local banking center or learn more at oldnational.com/success today. Complete qualifying activities within 60 days of account opening. $50 minimum initial deposit required. Account must remain open 120 days. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, the Brewers right the ship after dropping 2 of 3 to the Dodgers by sweeping the Royals. 7-run third fuels a 9-6 win over Kansas City.
3-1. Line drive right field. Back Melendez, still back, and it is over his head and off the wall. Extra bases for Owen Miller as Winker comes in to score, and the Brewers have the lead.
Jeff Levering with the call. Owen Miller hitting .314 for Craig Counsell. He has only 70 at-bats. You might see him have a little uptick here as the Brewers take on the Cardinals tonight in the first of 3 games in St. Louis, part of a 6-game road trip. Brewers are a game and a half up on the Pirates for first place in the NL Central.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, and on Mondays we're joined by Brewers broadcaster Sophia Minnaert, fresh off the Mother's Day game at American Family Field. I wonder, Sophia, with so many guys on the roster who are young this year, do you know if we had any moms in the house yesterday for the Brewers?
Like their
like
moms
players,
or wives
yeah.
to our moms? Yeah, of course, yeah. Alicia Yelich was there. Rose Miller was there. I think Hobie Milner's mother-in-law was there. So yeah, there were a couple moms in attendance.
Well, is
nice.
Mrs. Yelly available for every game? Because that worked out okay.
She was actually returning to LA after the game, but yeah, she tries to make some regular trips to come see the team, and she'll see them on the road as well.
Well, speaking of on the road, off to play the, I can't believe I'm saying this, last place Cardinals. I mean, I know it's young, and I feel like in August and September we'll be saying, oh, watch out for the Cardinals, but boy, tough start for them.
Yeah, it really has been. I mean, they at one point had lost 8 in a row. They've added Wilson Contreras, so that was a major off-season signing for them from the Cubs, and then had sort of removed him from the catching position, and now it sounds like he's going to be back in there a little bit more regularly. So it's just been a very different start for them. I don't think anyone expected the Pirates to be at the top of the division for as long as they were, and the Cardinals. At one point they were 10 games back. So it's been really different. But I think just regardless, like anytime the Brewers and the Cardinals get together, you're expecting a really competitive series.
And Sophia, I love the Owen Miller story, right? He hits a home run for his previous team on Mother's Day a year ago. He gives the bat to his mom, and he goes knocking on the door and says, "Hey, can I borrow that? Can I use that?" In yesterday's game, then he hits a double and then gifts the bat back to his mom. We were talking earlier. I mean, it's lucky she just, blow the dust off of it in the attic, and was the nephew going to play with it in the yard? Like, she just had it available for him to use.
Well, moms, they never miss a moment, right? And they keep everything. So, it was a cool story. And when I had talked to Owen about Mother's Day stuff over the weekend, he had told me the story about how he had hit the game-tying homer in the 8th when he was with Cleveland, and his mom happened to be there that day. So, she's going crazy in the stands. And he referred to the Bill Hall game. Obviously he grew up a huge Brewers fan. He's like, man, I just remember, like, that game, and all the highlights of that game, right, that we now show every Mother's Day, and thinking, like, gosh, wouldn't that be cool to be able to do that someday? So he got his moment last year, and then he was back in the lineup yesterday, and he had that big double, which you just ran the highlight of, and Owen's had a really nice on-base streak here lately. So very cool that he got to do that again, back-to-back years.
Brewers on the road again tonight. We've got the Cardinals for 3 games. Thanks so much, Sophia. Looking for some wins down there in St. Louis.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Mark Tauscher joins us next here on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You can have the power of Jeff Wagner. Don't California my Wisconsin. In the palm of your hands, whenever and wherever you want. Maybe we need more than political theater when we're trying to deal with some of the issues that we face today. Just look up The Jeff Wagner Show on Apple, Spotify, the WTMJ app, or wherever you get your podcasts. But at the end of the day, the sun came up this morning, and like I say, your dog still loves you. And don't forget, you can still listen to me live from noon to 3 on WTMJ.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
No drafts. I don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Are you ready for a new shower this spring? Well, if you are, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at their June 1st open house. To RSVP or to schedule a tour, visit harwoodplace.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in here with Debbie at 9 minutes before 8. Then Mark Tauscher joins us.
All right, well, 94 eastbound. We still have that ramp closed from Brewers Boulevard to 94 eastbound in the stadium interchange for that broken down vehicle. But the good news is the westbound side's about to get better. We had that earlier accident at 30th Street that had the left lane blocked. They have just cleared that accident. Delays are still there and still pretty hefty as well. 17 minutes to get from downtown to the zoo, so a 10-minute backup. Eastbound side, we are still seeing delays too from the basically Highway 100 area all the way into downtown. It's about 20 minutes. We've also got some backups on 894 eastbound heading through the Hale interchange all the way to about Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 72 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. Cooler near the lake. Temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s for your low temp overnight. We start out nice on Tuesday. High of 74 degrees under mostly sunny skies, and then temperatures fall in the afternoon. Will drop into the 50s pretty rapidly with a chance for some thunder showers. Mostly sunny on Wednesday with a high of 62, inland 56 at the lake. Right now, 47 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
AWESOME. Awesome, totally.
Innovative.
But just listening to the high school band with the tuba players, and it brings a huge smile back to my face.
And Packers Hall of Famer. It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and by Kohler Services. So, Tausch, want to get into the story about Mason Crosby's wife posting something to Twitter and then unposting it. And it wasn't necessarily news that we found shocking, but maybe she was just out in front of it a bit. Simone Biles, U.S. Olympian gymnast, is married to Jonathan Owens, whom the Packers signed late last week. So she goes to Twitter and says, hey, going to be in Green Bay. Who's got something for me? Suggestions, right?
It's pretty cool.
Among those who responded was Mason Crosby's wife, who said, we just ended a 16-year run with the team. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I think so a lot of times everybody kind of looks at this from, well, Mason is kicked, he's getting older, does he still have the leg strength? And fans kind of look at it from that perspective. But the people that are up there, and, Molly, obviously they have a bunch of kids, and they have started their family in Green Bay. Nolan is the same age as Max. Sarah and Molly were pregnant very similar times, so our kids got to know each other a little bit. And I think Molly probably, she's very, I think families are always looking to protect, especially, when the players out there, I think moms and dads and wives, girlfriends, they're always wanting to protect kind of their family. And I think everybody can understand that. So I imagine Mason probably wasn't overly excited when Molly threw that tweet out there, if I was a betting person.
Yeah.
But we've seen this before with Greg Jennings, and his sister have tweeted some things out. And, family members, they want to make sure that their family members are being treated properly. And I think from Molly's perspective, anytime you go through a big transition like this, there is a lot of hurt, and there's probably a lot of reflection. So I still don't know if Mason is not going to come back. I mean, that's not dead set. Obviously, that's the way everything was leading throughout the offseason. But until he signs with somebody else, I think that probably was the Crosby's point of view. But Molly obviously is probably ready to move on. She's probably thought it through, and she put that out there to Simone Biles because everybody is excited about Simone Biles. My daughter was super excited when I told her, hey, guess who's going to be moving to Green Bay? She's a big gymnast, and that's one athlete that I know she's excited about. So I get the whole thing, but I would be curious with the deleted tweet. You can't delete tweets. They live forever, and I think we all saw that.
I just see it playing out innocently enough as, like, her posting that. He finds out, and he's like, hey, what gives? And she's like, you said we were – not my call. You said we were done here. What? What, are we not done here?
Yeah, I think, normally, if you're not in a high-profile position, nobody really cares. It's like, oh, yeah, we can help you with this. But because, Mason is a Packer legend and all-time leading scorer, I do think that there was probably a little bit of that. But, yeah, again, it all comes back to, I think, the amount of protection and love that family has, and that was where Molly was coming from. There's not a doubt. This wasn't Molly trying to shade somebody or put anything out there. I think this was very much so probably just an innocent deal, and the fact that even with all that, there's still a little bit of I'm hurt that we're not coming back, because if Mason wants to keep kicking and playing, I think everybody wished and hoped that it would be he could finish his career in Green Bay, but we all know that the business side of the NFL is really tough.
Hey, having a super high-profile person like Simone Biles hanging around Green Bay, though, that'd be okay, right?
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I think, whether or not the question I have is, if you're a teammate of the new safety and your daughter's a big gymnast, how do you go about saying, hey, what are you guys doing? You want to come over for dinner? Don't be afraid. We got a little gymnast. We got a little like Wildy's got a whole deal set up in his basement with balance beams and pommel horses and everything else. Is it in poor taste to invite the Bileses over for a little dinner and then, can you show my kid a couple things that you've taught? I'm guessing that's IPT.
No, I mean, as long as you're up front, and also it depends on what kind of player. If you're a top-tier player, right?
You can do it.
Then you can do it. If you're, I don't know, peer-to-peer, right, about same level, maybe that's an upfront conversation. Hey, man, just to let you know, I got a crazy gymnast kid. Would love to have you come by the house. You're good there, right?
Yeah, I think so. I do think it's really interesting and cool because how many times has there been an NFL player where you are definitely second billing on the list? Where
right?
I don't think hardly anybody even knows who the safety is. It's everybody is Simone Biles' husband, and you know what? I bet he takes a lot of pride in that.
Hope we see a lot of her up in Green Bay. Mark Tauscher with us every morning at 10 to 8. Thanks, Tausch.
You bet, guys.
Milwaukee Business Journal's headlines with Sean Ryan are up next.
Milwaukee County on May 24th opens a permanent beer garden in Juneau Park in Milwaukee, similar to the one at Whitnall Park in Greendale. The Sprecher beer starts flowing when it opens for the season on May 24th. Construction of new apartments in downtown Kenosha could kick off in 2025 under a development agreement the city's Plan Commission just endorsed. The overall $450 million redevelopment could take up to a decade to complete. The Nova project, with 251 apartments on Van Buren Street in Milwaukee, is in the market for tenants as it approaches completion in October. Its first apartments will be ready for move-ins by August. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
Now open in New Berlin. A little birdie told us you're not doing so hot.
Here it is, swinging a line drive to a leaping grab by Willie Adames. He timed it perfectly and pulled it down.
The Brewers are in St. Louis with coverage starting at 6:10. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
801, 46 degrees. The high today, 72 inland and sunny. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. She is Debbie Lozga. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Eric. We have big backups on 94 eastbound, starting from just before Highway 100, all the way through the zoo, all the way through the stadium. We do have also a broken down vehicle on the ramp from northbound Brewers Boulevard to eastbound 94, which has that ramp closed off, but I don't think that's why all this backup is happening. We had an early earlier accident right around 30th Street on the westbound side, and I think that was why everybody was slowing down to take a look. The westbound side is still slow, even though that accident has been cleared. So we're seeing backups all the way out of the Marquette through the Stadium interchange. Once you hit about Mitchell Boulevard, Holly Road, that area, it should open right up through the county line. Southbound on 43, a little heavy from just south of Good Hope Road down past Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
3 teenagers are among 4 who were killed in a car crash overnight in Milwaukee. It happened near 60th and Fond du Lac. 4 people thrown from a car. All 4 were pronounced dead at the scene, according to the medical examiner's office. And again, 3 of them teenagers. One driver said to be in serious condition following that crash. The other driver arrested and likely will face charges. In Sauk County, federal investigators are there to investigate a middle school girl being killed when she was hit by a pickup truck waiting for a school bus. This happened Friday. 13-year-old Evelyn Gurney was killed after she was hit while about to get on that bus. This was in Reedsburg. Police say the Ford F-150 failed to stop. Driver swerved to miss the bus, then went up on the right and hit the girl. Still trying to determine what exactly happened there. They have not identified the driver and have not yet indicated whether or not charges will be filed in that case. And now, former MPS staffer is due back in court today after he was accused of sexually assaulting students at a Milwaukee public school. Randall Jefferson will be in court. He's 33 years old, facing 10 felonies. The criminal complaint says over the course of 2 years, he pressured 4 students to perform sex acts on him. In many cases, he offered money or gifts. He was a 6th grade sub-teacher at OW Holmes Middle School. And that's according to MPS's website. Americans are keeping their cars longer than ever. The average age of a passenger vehicle on U.S. roads hit a record 12 and a half years this year. Sedans are even older, more than 13 and a half years. You can blame it on mainly the pandemic, which triggered a shortage of auto computer chips, those vital components that help run everything from radios to gas pedals to transmissions. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:04.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of fixtures plus specialty lights, antiques, and collectibles.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With spring in the air, a young man's fancy turns to ceiling fans. And BBC gets all the best brands, such as Minka Air, Fanimation, Quorum, and many, many more. With uplights, downlights, no lights, ceiling huggers, and remotes. All are lifetime warranted. In our huge showroom, you'll find the top brands of lights and fans at the lowest prices. I guarantee it. Our expert lighting staff is always here to assist you. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids. BBC is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near the Potawatomi Casino. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday from 10 to 4. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Educators Credit Union. On behalf of all of Educators Credit Union, they would like to express their sincere gratitude to all our public safety professionals. Despite the obstacles you face every day, you continue to make the selfless decision to show up and serve local communities. The care, courage, and commitment it takes does not go unnoticed. Thank you for taking the time away from your family to protect, support, and care for ours. Thank you for all that you do.
Matt had just moved into his first apartment and needed furniture to fill it, but he didn't have a big credit line. So I told him about St. Vincent de Paul. There's always a nice selection of gently used furniture there, and sometimes you can find some really cool retro pieces. And the best part is, it's always super affordable. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores for first-time furniture buyers or anyone looking for great deals on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The Brewers complete a 4-2 homestand with a 9-6 win over the Royals Sunday afternoon. A leadoff home run for Christian Yelich, his third in 2 games. Yelich hitting .348 in the month of May. Milwaukee hits the road tonight for Game 1 of a 3-game series against the last-place Cardinals. Coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news. Sham Charania of The Athletic is reporting that Mark Jackson will interview for the Bucks head coaching vacancy. Jackson coached the Golden State Warriors for 3 seasons. The Boston Celtics advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals after a blowout win over the 76ers. Boston will take on Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. Out west, it'll be the Nuggets and Lakers. That series gets started Tuesday night.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ Sports.
Still looking at a little bit of a backup on southbound 41 heading past Hampton Avenue. A little bit heavy out of the Capitol Drive area, but then it looks pretty good all the way into the zoo. The northbound side is going to be a little bit tight from Blue Mound Road up past Swan Boulevard. Eastbound 894, well, basically take it back a step to the Rock Freeway northbound, slowing down just before Highway 100 through the Hale, all the way to about Loomis. That's where it starts to open up. The westbound side is slow right out of the Mitchell interchange to about 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny today, a high of 72 inland. Tonight, clear sky and a low of 47. For Tuesday, sunny, but that temp's going to fall. A high of 74. There's a chance for a thunder shower later on in the day, and then a falling temperature into the 50s, so it's going to get very brisk late afternoon and into the evening tomorrow. Wednesday, sunny, a high of 62. Thursday, sunny, a high of 67. Friday, some rain in this forecast, maybe even a storm, and a high of 65 on Friday. Right now in Madison, 51. Green Bay, 49. Waukesha, 49. And in Milwaukee, 51 degrees. I'm Eric Bilstead. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Coming up on 10 minutes after 8 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Greg Pancake Hill is producing the program. Eric Bilstead and Vince Vitrano here with you until 9 o'clock. And I want to start with something that resonated with me. It was published in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel over the weekend because I am this. The headline spoke to me. I am this.
Okay.
And I bet you are too. Or maybe you're not, but you know somebody who is. Here's the headline. Political rifts end friendships. Spark safety fears in Wisconsin. This is based on a study out of UW-Madison, the Center for Communication and Civic Renewal. Statewide survey of 3,031, they say, demographically representative Wisconsinites, investigating civic consequence of political conflict. And as the headline indicated, one of the things they're focusing on is a certain number of us here in Wisconsin, this probably is all over the place, have ended a friendship or at least altered that friendship or altered a relationship with a family member over our inability to civilly discuss politics. I am this.
You've ended relationships.
I have not ended any relationships. I mean, but I know there are certain friend groups. I know people's politics, and I know where to navigate in there if I don't want to start things or whatever.
Okay.
But certainly with people close to me in family, I know where everybody's politics are, and I know who to talk to about politics and who not. And I've definitely pulled back. I've reached with a couple people in my life, like, let's help each other and our relationship, and let's just not do it. Let's just not talk politics. And yet, still, sometimes we can't help ourselves.
Yep.
One of the reasons for that, and then I'll get into the particulars of the survey, one of the reasons I think it's hard for us to avoid political discussion is think about, all right, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about sports. Well, sports got a little political, right? First, you had the national anthem controversy. Should we be standing? Should we not be standing? Is it okay not to stand? You had the Black Lives Matter movement. The teams didn't come out here and there. We had all this activism that we didn't like. So, all right, let's not talk about sports. Let's talk about school. What's happening at school? Well, polarized school board, school curriculum, sex ed, yes or no, or what about this, what about that? So school has become politicized. Let's talk about our health. How you feeling? Right, COVID. Oh, my God. That's political. All right, fine. Let's talk about the weather. Oh, can you see, look what's happening with the global warming.
Are you kidding? Another one!
Right? So part of it is like we've politicized everything to the point of, well, what are we supposed to talk about? We just sit there and stare at each other? I don't know.
But
I like the shirt you're wearing.
Hey, how dare you?
Yeah, well, you know where it was made.
Yeah. But isn't there something to that, like just like the human nature of turning everything into divisiveness?
I guess,
these days,
right?
like it's like people feed on that.
And there are a number of relationships in my life where I don't want to. I mean, you have some folks that where man, one of my buddies, we've had him on the show, Scahill.
Yeah.
Right? Investigative journalist, wrote a couple of really amazing books, New York Times bestseller. And his politics are very different than mine, but I love sparring with him. I usually lose, at least in the argument. If you were judging who won this, it's him every time, but he's just smarter than me, so that definitely helps him. But there's a guy where I'm enlivened by that discussion, the back and forth of wow, I never thought of it like that. I don't know why I can get there with him, but with other people in my life, I can't. Because that's where we're supposed to be. Well, you see it this way, I see it this way. Well, that's interesting, Eric. I never thought about that. But as my wife always says, when we talk about politics, are you listening to understand or are you listening to respond? And very often, I'm just waiting for you to be done so that I get to make my point now.
So you can go peacock
around.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah? Well.
All puffy-chested. So I'm curious, though, if you haven't broken up with anyone friendship-wise, have you, blocked them on social media?
I've blocked a lot of people I don't know.
But I don't mean block so there are filters on Facebook where they don't know that you have them turned off.
Sure.
So
They're out there yelling into an empty hallway.
Yes.
Still didn't get his goat with this one. Let's try this. Here's a little bit more from the survey. Again, this from UW-Madison Center for Communication and Civic Renewal, statewide survey, more than 3,000 people. It was published in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Stopping political discussion. 60% say disagreements ended conversations. I got no problem there. Right? That's fine. You're here, I'm there. We're not getting anywhere. Let's just, go somewhere to cool off.
Yeah.
Let me see. Cutting ties. This is where it gets a little more concerning. 17% ended friendships distanced from relatives over politics. Fallout from Wisconsin's political divides can go deeper, limiting or ending long-standing personal relationships. 17% of Wisconsinites report completely ending a friendship or spending less time with a family member due to political disagreement. My method has been, there are a couple of people very close to me, and we've just tried to agree, let's just not grab that third rail. When we're together, let's just not go there. And is there anything wrong with that? I mean, I guess I wish it weren't, but as a matter of self-preservation and as a matter of preservation of a relationship that to me is more important than your politics or mine, to just leave some things off limits, I'm okay with that.
Look, it's not you, it's me. You deserve better.
You deserve to be with people who think more like you. I'm bad. I'm way out here on the fringes. You deserve to be surrounded by people who support your ideology.
Someone who may want to compromise. That is not me.
On compromise, that's interesting. So in the survey, some people reported having an actual fear for their safety, and I'm not going to laugh at that. We've seen political violence or threats of political violence, so that's sad. Reasons for hope, they say. 74% support compromises to solve problems. And that's what's interesting is we hear it on this show, too. When we open up the Old National Bank talk and text line, or we take calls, folks say, why can't these guys work together? Why can't they come to some sort of compromise? Why can't we meet on this and move it forward? But very often all that means is, why can't they see it like I do?
Right.
Compromise by coming to my side. So we say we want compromise, but do we really? I don't know. I think it's an okay method if you get to that point with people, just leave it off limits. I don't know that you got to end the friendship. Can you find a way to coexist by just saying we're going to talk about something else?
So how often are friendships actually ended, or is it just that you tend to avoid hanging out with one another? You know what I mean?
They just sort of fade away.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, growing apart, if you will.
What would I expect you to call your 40-something buddy and just say we're broken up?
Yeah.
Listen, it's Eric. We're done.
Hey, man, it's not you. It's me.
Right. No, I think you just sort of go away, or you stop hanging out, or you try not to play golf with that person. But in terms of family and people who are close to you, who you actually care about beyond the political arguments, I don't know what it is that we can't help ourselves. I am guilty of this myself, even though my rational self knows that I'm not going to change this person's mind about whatever the topic is. Yet, for some reason, something happens, and I got a live one, and I'm like, this is going to be the one where they're finally going to understand that my side is right.
You're going to speak in all caps.
And I know that going in. I know it. And yet, and you can even resolve to say, I'm just going to be reasonable. We're going to be very calm. And then you just...
Yep.
Hair starts standing up in the
See,
back of the
that's
neck.
so
Now I'm
funny,
mad.
though.
Now you're mad. Now we leave with hurt feelings.
But you know that guy, too, the one who brings that politics up no matter what. And stop.
I just wonder if for a lot of folks, more and more, if that's their solution. Can you save a relationship by just agreeing politics is off limits?
I'm tired of this guy.
Right. Already getting some texts here on the Old National Bank talk and text line. I wonder if that's the case for you. Do you have folks in your life with whom you simply cannot talk politics? Why do we fall into that trap? And what do you do about it? For me, it was identifying a few relationships and a few people with whom I value so much more than those political conversations, and we just flat don't talk about it. I think there's nothing wrong with it. 8:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
And we've got some backups. Yep, they're through the stadium interchange. Technically, the westbound side is slowing down from about 25th Street through the stadium, and it lets up right about at Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side is backing up from about 76th Street through the stadium. Also, 894 eastbound has a couple of pockets of heavy traffic, just leaving the Hale interchange to about Forest Home, and then you're back on the brakes from just before 60th Street to almost Loomis. The westbound side's going to be slow for about 20th past Loomis as well. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I got no FOMO for your show, Mo.
See the world from his perspective.
The chutzpah on this guy to bring ribs onto the plane and then eat them. I can't think of anything worse.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
I like a little mayo on the brat.
Oh,
It's actually bad.
what are you, French?
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture. Had everybody over for Mother's Day on Sunday, Eric?
Nice.
Couldn't sit outside in my beautiful new Sister Bay Furniture because it was
rough.
crummy. But a lot of compliments from the family room looking out. My mom, is that the chairs that you were talking about? It looks really nice. She was very, very impressed.
Nice.
Really looks nice. I wish you could have sat in them, seen how comfortable they are as well. Sister Bay Furniture, premium high-quality furniture, built in Wisconsin and built for Wisconsin. As we were sitting inside, nice and cozy, no worries about bringing that furniture in out of the elements because it's built to sustain years of Wisconsin weather. You can customize your set, picking from several different styles and colors. If you have a unique outdoor space or want to create one, the professionals there at Sister Bay Furniture can help. They've got a team of in-house design experts that can help you plan and create that really special space just outside of your home. And you're not going to want to wait to get out to the showroom today because the summer months are coming. Maybe you got a graduation party coming up this summer. A lot of folks going to be coming by the house, and we will have sustained nice weather again. So go out and visit them on in Sussex on Executive Drive. You can also visit the website, shop ahead at sisterbayfurniture.com, just to get an idea of all the things they offer. Have an idea of what you're looking for before you stop into the showroom. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize them, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. Here at Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you're not getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
If you're a veteran, on active duty, reserve, or a military spouse, this is your wake-up call. It's time for basic training to be an entrepreneur. If you've ever wanted to own your own business, the Veterans Business Outreach Center is here for you. Get started today by texting the word VETERAN to 855-616-1620. The Veterans Business Outreach Center helps veterans of all eras. Just text VETERAN to 855-616-1620. The VBOC is an official program of the Small Business Administration and hosted by the Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Corporation.
Old National Bank talk and text line is 855-616-1620. Old National Bank, get old. 855-616-1620. We'd love to hear from you if you've dealt with this in your life. You got some folks, maybe, some relationships are not as important to you as others, but people who are important to you with whom you just can't talk politics. It hurts your relationship. How have you handled that? In my case, the couple people very close to me, we just quit talking about it. And I still screw it up. I still sometimes
because you
come
still
in
hang
hot.
out with them and stuff.
Oh, yeah. But I
Yeah.
also still come in sometimes with, here's the point I'm going to make, and I know better. Can't help myself. Surely this one won't degenerate into, the bad hurt feelings and whatever, because this one you will see very clearly where I'm coming from.
Right, yeah. This
I'm very
time you'll sway them.
Reasoned and
Yeah.
measured here.
From the 302 on the Old National Bank talking text line, 855-616-1620. I just broke up with a friend of 30 years over politics. Very sad. How does that breakup go? I'm so curious.
Well, are we are we talking figuratively?
Do you go and have coffee together? Hey, we got to talk.
Or the friend calls and you're like, "Hey, we're golfing this weekend. I think we got to talk. I think we're through here."
Sorry, it's not you. It's me.
Or it is you. You're intolerable. I can't stand being around you because you support the flat tax or you don't, or whatever. And it's not for nothing, though. I mean, politics that are driving us it's important. We're talking about things that matter. And if you're really convinced that the country is on the right track or on the wrong track, or that the governor is great for Wisconsin, or that we're on a path to disaster, those things matter. And especially when you're talking family, this is the future of my family.
Sure.
You want good things for people. I just wonder if we're past the point of where we question each other's motivations as well. That's another issue. Used to be back, and somebody's invoking Ronald Reagan here. Reagan used to say, can't people of good conscience disagree on something, but agree both are good people? Do we have to hate each other? Apparently many of us have to hate each other. I blame both parties for this. And, of course, social media, which partisanizes everything. I think that's definitely a fair point because we can't ever escape it. But, hearkening back to the Reagan days, I feel like when we look back at that time, okay, Democrats had a way that they wanted to do this. Republicans had a way they wanted to do that. But nobody questioned whether or not either side was doing what it was thought was in the best interest of the country.
Moving the country forward.
If we have agreement that, look, you're a good person, I'm a good person, we may disagree on how to get there, but the there is the same, best for the country or best for the state, but we disagree on that.
And then we discovered that the best way to win a campaign is to scare the voter about the other person.
Right. I feel like that's not as new. 824, let's go to the phones, 855-616-1620 on the Old National Bank talk and text line. Just wondering if you've had those relationships in your life where you've had to limit them or even flat end them because you can't talk politics. Mike is with us this morning. Hey, Mike.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing well. Who do you got?
So, my brother's fiance, who is now his wife, we got into it one time, and this is a long time ago. This is back in the mid-'90s. And after that incident, I said, I will never do that again because I don't want to have that, in our relationship. It's kind of like even with Facebook relationships, I won't, get into arguments about politics because it's just not worth it.
Are you successful at that, Mike? I mean, having avoided that?
I have for the most part. I mean, because I'll hear her say something and I really don't respond. Every once in a while, because if she's not directly talking to me, I just overhear it.
You'll just sigh really loud.
Yeah. If it's so ridiculous, I gotta just say something. And it's like we're not talking to each other directly, but we both hear each other. But I don't keep it going after that. I just refuse because we had a real not good argument the first time, and I'm just like, I can't do that again.
I appreciate you sharing that, Mike. Yeah, I mean, right, you can't be we don't talk politics anymore, but you're back in there going, can't be that guy either, right? You're either in or you're out. We're just not talking about this. This one, can't break up a 49-year marriage, LOL, even though my husband is still blinded by our former president, who I even voted for, but he thinks was stolen, LOL, help me. It's tough. There's a husband and wife, right? We can't agree.
Yep.
And we always think, in our calmer times, when we're being measured, we say, I would like to be with someone who disagrees with me about things.
Sure.
Boy, it'd be boring if we sure agreed on everything. I don't know. More and more, I'm like, make life a lot easier. I got a kid who's real into politics.
Oh, good
pop
for
off
you.
from time to time.
Oh, that's fantastic for you.
Fortunately, the boy agrees with me on everything.
So you got him going.
I'll throw him up against her. But no, we'll get at it, and it starts innocently enough about something that was on the news. She'll ask a question, and I'll say something, and then bit. Then Now we're off arguing.
Wow. Oh, I do not envy that.
Can do it. 8:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. Creative Planning is a wealth management firm that believes in a total approach to building wealth that includes taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other personalized elements. This approach allows you to receive advice that is aligned with your unique goals and always in your best interests. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But now, you can buy Beautyrest Hybrid and the highest-end Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near highest-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These mattresses are the best, and you can get them for way less. Like the Beautyrest Queen Haven Bay was on sale for $1,178, now just $471. Or the Beautyrest Hybrid King Harbor Oaks was on sale for $3,099, but the floor model is just $854. Plus, save big on Sealy adjustable bases, originally marked $984, now on sale for just $392. It's like buying a Rolls Royce for 10 grand just because it sat on the showroom floor. Selection is limited. Only a few floor models are available at each Hasseless location, and when they're gone for good. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
You receive a diagnosis from a doctor. You do some reading about it. Talk with your loved ones about it. You feel good about proceeding. Well, pretty good, that is. There's that one thing nagging at you. It's probably nothing, right? Or is it? A good reason to get a second opinion. The Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network not only offers but encourages second opinions on cancer, cardiovascular, orthopedic, spine, or neurological next steps. Second opinions often happen virtually and give you peace of mind about all that is humanly possible at an academic health network like ours, including innovative treatment options and clinical trials. Big decisions deserve a second opinion. At the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're here to help you feel good about your decision. Learn more or request an appointment at freighter.com/second opinion.
17% of Wisconsinites in a survey said they have ended friendships or distanced themselves from relatives over politics. I've told you that I've had that happen to me in my life, but it's more of a conscious choice. How we chose to deal with it was, let's just not talk about it.
So there's an actual conversation about
yes. It was like,
Interesting.
look, you can't convince me, I can't convince you. And even if we entered into it in terms of like that wasn't my point. We just were talking about it and would get hot.
See, there's certain people, though, that can get away with it, that can converse back and forth, that have a mutual respect of the opinions and can have some actually enjoy that conversation, enjoy that quote-unquote debate. But then there's others where it just...
It gets
can't do
hard
it.
where, and it impacted me where, doesn't matter what issue, but just at the end of it was like, I feel like you're questioning whether or not I'm a decent person. Like a good and decent person based on the argument that I've just talked about here politically. And that's hurtful. Like that makes me sad that you would think that. You think this, I think that, but like somehow I'm not a good person because of that. Let's just not go down that road. So we've chosen to deal with it. Let me bring Dave in. He is with us on the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620. Morning, Dave.
Morning. Yeah, I had a situation. I shouldn't say I ended it. This other friend probably ended it with me. It was during the height of COVID. We were going to work on a project. I had some other guys that were going to be helping. They were all like 65 and older, and weren't all fully vaccinated or able to get they were vaccinated, but this guy that was going to be helping us wasn't, and he was an anti-vaxxer, and it was just like he just drew a line in the sand, and since then, we've all gotten past that and things have gotten better, and I've tried to reconnect with him, and he just won't take my calls or anything. I mean, one thing probably didn't help. The one time I was talking to him, I told him, be careful driving home that he didn't drive off the end of the earth, that flat earth.
Wow. No, Dave, probably. Listen, man, I'm not a relationship expert, but I would agree with you on that. That might have done something. Couldn't help yourself, though.
I don't know. It's a little frustrating, but anyway. So.
Thanks for sharing that, Dave, and I am sorry for that.
Bye.
Called him a
flat earther. Hey, you flat earther. Good luck. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a lot of calls from him after that. Where was the one with the grade school, Eric? Did you see that one? Here, I got it. My best friend from grade school walked away from our 40-year friendship on January 6, 2021. She texted me during the chaos, asked how I felt, what was going on. She got more and more heated with her messages. I responded without getting upset. Ultimately, I told her that this was the reason that we never talked politics, and she knew where I stood on things. She unfriended me later that day, canceled all other connections that we had. 40 years of friendship gone because I didn't agree with her on her politics. Ugh. It's hard. I mean, I guess, like I said, that's one that maybe you could have gone. But here's someone saying, like, no, they probably already had that conversation, right? About how we don't agree on politics. Let's do something else.
Yeah, right.
But Jan 6th happened. We're all watching it play out in front of our eyes. Different people saw different things. Poke, poke, poke. Mushroom cloud. 8:33 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Eric has some headlines now from the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
Thank you, sir. 4 people killed in a car crash in Milwaukee overnight. 3 of them teenagers. This happened near 60th and Fond du Lac. One person is in custody, likely to face charges. Americans are keeping their cars longer than ever. The average age of a passenger vehicle on U.S. roads hit a record 12 and a half years this year. Sedans even older than that on average, more than 13 and a half years. Mainly this is because of the pandemic, they believe, which triggered a shortage of automotive computer chips, which is used for a lot of different things for automobiles. Guinness World Records says the world's oldest dog recently celebrated his 31st birthday. Bobby's owner says, sing happy birthday, Bobby. Keep going.
No, that's all.
Time now for news about your money and the WT. Oh boy. The Dow is down 57, the Nasdaq starting up 18, and the S&P is flat as they just get underway. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Hi, Debbie.
Hello. We've got eastbound 94, a little bit backed up from about 76th Street, on and off the brakes all the way through the stadium. Once you get past to about, I'd say 35th Street, you're good to go all the way to the Marquette. The westbound side's just very specifically in the stadium interchange. So by the time you hit Mitchell Boulevard, you're good to go. Northbound 41, a little bit heavy past Watertown Plank Road and Swan Boulevard. And the northbound side of 43 is just a little tight heading into the Brown Deer Road area. It started with a B. Brown Deer Road area. But the rest of the area is looking good, north and southbound of 43. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at Heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Sunny today, a high of 72 degrees inland. Tonight, clear sky, a low of 47. For Tuesday, sunny, a high of 74. But then it's really going to cool down dramatically later on in the afternoon. Quickly cools to the 50s by late afternoon. Also a chance for a thunder shower tomorrow evening. Wednesday, sunny, a high of 62. Thursday, sunny, a high of 67. Friday, rain and a high of 65. Right now in Milwaukee, 51 degrees. I'm Eric Bilstead, Side and Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you're sleeping at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients. And what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Advent knows.
And now, time for the Matzik Morning Minute. Take it away, Greg Matzik.
The Brewers complete a 4-2 homestand with a 9-6 win over the Royals Sunday afternoon. Another home run for Christian Yelich, his third in 2 games. Yelich hitting .348 with 4 home runs in the month of May.
He's swinging the bat well. That's why you play guys every single day, because they have the ability to do this. And he's found a nice little stretch here where he's squaring some balls up.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Milwaukee hits the road tonight for Game 1 of a 3-game series against the last-place Cardinals. Hear the game on 620 WTMJ with coverage beginning at 6:10. In the NBA, the Philadelphia 76ers fall to the Boston Celtics in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Celtics advance to the Eastern Conference Finals behind 51 points from Jason Tatum. In the West, it'll be the Lakers and Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, a series that gets underway Tuesday night. The Athletics' Shams Charania is reporting that Mark Jackson, the former Golden State Warriors head coach, is among the list of candidates for the Bucks head coaching vacancy, and the Packers begin Block 1 of organized team activities May 22nd.
Matzik Morning Minutes is sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. It's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. It's where to get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and enjoy more choices now during the Memorial Day sales event. Drive Holiday and experience the genuine care of Wisconsin's only Mazda President's Club Award winner, the Badger State's #1 Mazda dealer, and its #1 Mazda certified pre-owned dealer. Accolades are per 2022 Mazda North American Operations Zone Sales Records. Holiday Mazda, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, or at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Edgar Winter Band, Edgar Winter. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart.
I got work to do.
Saturday, September 30th, Miller High Life Theater. On sale Friday, May 19th at 10 a.m. at papstheatergroup.com.
About 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. What you told him?
You say it every
gotta
time it
tell me.
plays. So I told
This
Greg.
is the one? No way.
So every day this song plays and Vitrano before he cracks the mic goes, wasted bump.
This is the one?
I don't like this one.
So I told Greg,
It does
I'm like,
nothing. It's just noise to me.
Oh my gosh.
What's this music you're playing back there?
Yeah,
It's just noise
exactly.
to
Here,
me.
this one.
There you
There it
go.
is.
Now it's that's some music. son.
Yeah, it sounds right. God. All right, it's gone. There
Is
it
it out?
is. Well, yeah, you don't like it. Why would I keep it if you don't like it?
Well, you're part of the program as well.
I know, but this isn't my show.
A little bit.
It's a team.
It's the pancake
I get
show.
that, but I mean, if you're like, you had an actual reaction to it
every day.
every day, I would have never guessed that was the one.
Okay, backing up and filling you all in now since we wasted your time with this, but now you're wondering, what is this about? So Greg, Pancake Hill, the producer of the program, chooses our music that comes in and out each time, right? Shouldn't be a thing. It's just whatever. But certain, right? You have certain things in your workout mix or whatever it is that gets you in a certain mood to do something or does something for you. So not for nothing, but the bumper music matters. Not just for you, but for me, for Eric, for all of
It
us,
affects the tone of the show.
Sure.
And Greg does a fantastic job with it.
He breaks out one of my 80s songs there. Some with a lot of synthesizer. I am ready
a
to
little
go.
Huey Lewis and everything gets going.
So there are a few there in the system that aren't my favorites, and I didn't mean to pick on Greg, so I just don't make a deal of it. But I just apparently
every day
can't
like,
help myself by
wasted.
saying to Eric, it's a wasted bump. I don't like that one.
Okay, now it's gone.
I finally told him, like, you got to know that one. I don't know what song it is, but there's one that he always says.
So I look over here, and here's Eric looking at Greg, pressing his button, telling him, like, oh, you're telling him?
This is
I didn't
the
want
one.
him to feel
So
bad.
the best part, and no one would know this, but the best part is Eric looks at me and just nods his head. And I was like,
That's the
so
one.
this is the one.
I didn't want you to feel bad.
It's not. I didn't write the song, Vince. If you don't want it in the show, take it out of the show. It's fine.
That's not. Is that your favorite song? It's
No, not particularly.
What song even is that?
It's called "Reckless Abandon" by Blink-182.
All right, it's not in my playlist.
Here it is for the
But
last
yeah,
time.
hope you like it. We're going to play
Yeah,
it in
that's
and
it.
out of every break for the rest of the show. Little behind the scenes here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Have I given the impression that I want the Magic Bus to fail?
A little bit.
A little bit, have I?
A little bit, yeah.
I want to clear that up. I don't want the Magic Bus to fail. I want it to be good. I just don't think it's going to be. I do have an update on the Magic Bus. This is the Bus Rapid Transit System in Milwaukee, and there is some news on that. The Magic Bus is going to be free to ride pretty much all summer. So Milwaukee County Transit got into a partnership with one of its vendors. The vendor, I think it's UMOS. I got it written down here. They make the fare system that MCTS is going to go with. So the hardware, the software that runs how you pay and stuff like that. And it's probably a fairly large contract. So props to MCTS and to the county for saying, hey, we're going with your thing. How about a little something for the effort? So they're going to sponsor free rides on the Magic Bus all summer. What's the Magic Bus? That's this bus rapid transit that, under the best case scenario, will shave about 8 or 9 minutes off the total travel time from a normal bus if you ride the whole corridor. So basically from the Watertown Plank Park and Ride all the way to the lakefront or vice versa. If you were to take a regular bus, it would take you 40-some minutes. If you take the Magic Bus, which is fewer stops and goes through a few
super fast
longer lights, has its own dedicated lanes, you get there 7, 8, 9 minutes quicker. So I call it the Magic Bus because some of the projections that were made when trying to sell this to the taxpayers cost $50 million just to put up the infrastructure. And if you've driven on Blue Mound Road or Wisconsin Avenue lately, you see that they've built out like platforms where you get on the Magic Bus, and then it has its own lanes, which are now painted up. So if you drive that area, you've now seen them. So you're not going to be allowed to put your car in that lane. It's just going to sit empty for almost all day, but for the few moments that the Magic Bus comes zipping on through. So now you got to squeeze on in there with even more traffic in those smaller lanes. So one, I've always discounted the highfalutin claims about what this is going to do in terms of reducing congestion. Because on the surface, you look at it and say, how does taking a lane out of traffic reduce congestion? And they're saying because so many people will be so excited about the Magic Bus that they're going to stop taking their cars and start taking the bus, which I flat just don't believe it. I think that's absurd.
Yeah, but you could get on the bus, you could check your email.
Sure.
Listen to the radio.
Instead of taking your car, yes, you could have it take way longer to get to your destination. You could wait outside for the bus.
Jeez.
You could even if you do the math too, gas at $3.50 a gallon, it's still not going to save you any money.
Well, what's the fare to? Well,
unless
it's free.
you actually ditch your total car, right? And then you don't have car maintenance.
It's free through the summer, but then what? $2?
I think it's going to be $4 round trip, like $2 a shot, which isn't bad, right?
No.
And so just to clarify my position, one, I think we do need to have a robust transit system. You have to. A city of our size, some folks don't have cars, and we got to move people around. I'm a bus user myself. As a kid, I would take the bus downtown. I would take it back. If I could put my 15-year-old has a job now and is going to start soon this summer, and we're already wondering, like, how are we going to get her there? If I could put her on a bus that went there, absolutely would.
See, we're different than a lot of other cities, though. Like
we are.
There is a large component that does not have any interest in using any public transit of any kind.
And I think that's just a reality that will not be overcome by the Magic Bus, even though that's what the projections say. So I just don't buy it. That said, I do want it to be successful. I would be overjoyed if I were totally wrong. If in 2 years from now they're like, man, we got to expand this thing. We got to do another Magic Bus, which they're already talking about, because this is so successful. So many people are riding the Magic Bus. I think that's good. I pull for the city of Milwaukee. I pull for the county. I've lived in Milwaukee County almost my entire life, but for school and my first job. So, I want it to be successful. I am not that guy that says, I think the Vikings are going to roll the Packers this weekend, and you sit there at the bar with the guy, and he roots against his team because he wants to be right. I am not that guy. So I hope I'm wrong. I just don't buy it. But I think that the free rides will help. People will try it.
So that's like HBO, right? When you get HBO or Showtime for free, and then after a couple of months, all of a sudden it kicks in and you start paying for it. Then you realize a couple of years later you're paying even more. Is it similar kind of thing?
Yes. Either that or a drug dealer.
Oh, you're right. Ooh.
Hey, kid, you want a little taste of this?
Now he's comparing a drug dealer to the Magic Bus.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Right. Perfect. It's a perfect comparison here. No, just give them a little taste of the Magic Bus for free and then start charging them $2. But by then, they're already hooked. They're already hooked on the Magic Bus, which launches June 4th for free.
looking pretty good right now. 41 southbound is pretty much clear all the way to the Zoo interchange from Highway Q. Northbound's a little bit tight from Watertown Plank Road up to Swan. Eastbound 94, we're looking at a little bit of a backup between 76th and 60th Street, but the stadium's pretty much clear. The westbound side looks great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Tri-County Contracting. They offer the worry-free roof tune-up. Just had my mom over to the house. We were celebrating Mother's Day. She was asking me about Tri-County. She said, but don't you have like a relatively new roof? I said, I did. She said, well, what did they do for you? I'm like, well, my roof is not brand new, and it had been years since anybody had actually been up on the roof. So I don't know what I'm looking at there. I expect it to be fine, but I don't know what I don't know. And actually, when I got Chuck and Tony up there on top of my roof, they'd realized that on one of those vents that you have coming out of the roof, the cover that's supposed to protect it from the elements and also critters getting in there, gone.
A raccoon took it with him.
Right, it's in somebody's yard somewhere, but it ain't on my roof. But I wouldn't have known that unless they go up there. That's why the worry-free roof tune-up may be for you. $650, regardless of the size of your roof. They go up there, they check everything out, you get a full inspection. They'll replace up to 10 damaged or missing shingles. They refasten and seal loose shingles. They'll put some new caulking around the chimney flashings. Any exposed roof nails will get hammered down and caulked around. They handle all the vents and things like that. They'll seal shingles around all of the bathroom vents. They'll do what it takes. They would do what it takes to extend the life of your roof. So even if you have a relatively new roof, still not a bad idea to get Chuck and his guys up there from Tri-County Contracting. 262-217-8150, TriCountyContractingWI.com.
You know, it feels good when I find something really cool and get a great deal on it. But it feels even better when I know that the money I spend actually goes directly to helping others. That's why I shop at St. Vincent de Paul, because I always find the best bargains, and the money I spend stays in Milwaukee County to help fight hunger and eliminate poverty. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton in Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
If you're looking for the finest of furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com.
RJ Schenner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems, better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. I mean, they'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems, reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
.852 on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's going to take you up till 9 o'clock. Then Steve Scafidi joins us. And you got a hero story You love these stories, and I love that you love these stories.
Yes, one of my favorite stories when it's an average superhero, someone who just was going about their day and all of a sudden they saved a life or they did something miraculous. All right. Her name is Heaven Chavez. She was riding with her mom in New Mexico when they heard something outside the window.
My window was cracked, but I heard somebody yelling for help. And I told my daughter, I think somebody's yelling for help. And she said, turn around, Mom.
So they get out of the car. They look, and there's this giant sinkhole just right there. Just half the sidewalk's gone, this huge sinkhole.
The whole sidewalk was gone.
Yeah, so, okay, now what? Well, all of a sudden they realize there's a dude in
He
there.
was holding onto the poles and he was screaming, saying, I don't want to die, and if I die, I love you, son. And I was like, you're not dying.
Oh, can you imagine hearing somebody say that?
Yes.
No.
Well, I love her. She said, nope, you're
Nope,
not dying.
not today.
Not today. No one dies today. So the two women helped get this guy and kid out of the sinkhole.
I was holding onto the fence like Spider-Man, trying to help him, but trying to save myself as well.
So it took them a while. Some other bystanders were there too, and they're able to get him out.
My daughter got a baby blanket out of the car and gave it to him, and he hugged her so tight, and
he needed somebody.
Yeah, it was a moment there. So these two women just happened to have the window down, happened to hear something, decided, you know what, we got to stop and look. And there they found this giant sinkhole and helped save this guy and his kid.
I like the part that spoke to me was she said like she was hanging on like Spider-Man.
I was holding onto the fence like Spider-Man.
I've complained all the time when we find people who've done amazing, heroic things, and the news shows up at their house like, shucks, just doing what anybody else would have done.
Right?
Finally,
No.
we got one. No, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, she owned it.
I was holding onto the fence like Spider-Man.
There are heroes among us who run toward danger rather than away from it. We call them first responders. This is Steve Scafidi. WTMJ is partnering with Educators Credit Union to honor police officers, firefighters, and countless others who work every day to protect our families and loved ones. Do you have a first responder you would like to nominate? Go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner, and share your story. We'll bring you the incredible stories during Salute to Service month in May.
Steve Scafidi's Salute to Service with Educators Credit Union. Details now at WTMJ.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too, because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at Accunet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
He's a former coach with two sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
Right, that's real important. The golf game. Right. As we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body.